This is for the ones who were raised on gasoline dreams, for the lug nuts holding tight to the wild red line scenes, for the families, the drivers, the wrench turning crews, for the chrome, the smoke, and the ones who refuse to lose. Where horsepower meets heart, yeah, that's who we are. We're a culture, we're a brotherhood, we are rolling motor fire. Build not borrowed, that's the creed written deep in our veins. We turn busted cars into legends and rust into fame. From late night garage grind to race day stadium roars, every scar on our knuckles unlocked 1,000 doors. We don't back down, we don't break, we don't fold. Every ride we build tells a story worth gold. This is for the ones who were raised on gasoline trains, for the lug nuts holding tight to the wild red line scenes, for the families, the drivers, the wrench turning crews, for the chrome, the smoke, and the ones who refuse to lose. Where horsepower meets heart, yeah, that's who we are. We're a culture, we're a brotherhood, we are rolling motor fire. Here's to the nights when the world said slow down, but the engine said no when we stood our ground. To the ones who grew up rich and when the rest took the easy way, we found our path in the piston noise and we'll ride it every day. Pedal to the metal, this is where we belong. Cars, trucks, monster trucks, loud and strong. Passion, pride, lug nuts, side by side. If you love what you drive, then ride, ride, ride. This is for the legends that started in dusty garages, for the kids who chase dreams through the scars and collages, for the racers who gave everything without fail, and the fans who stand proud when the engines wail. Where horsepower meets heart, yeah, this ain't a phase. It's our passion, our culture, and we'll live it to the grave. Pedal to the metal, forever in our veins. So look out, we're only getting louder from here. Nothing built strong was ever built out of fear. The road is wide open and the fire won't slow, because this isn't a hobby, this is the only life we know. Pedal down, heads high. We're not done. Pedal down, heads high. Pedal down. Ladies and gentlemen, start your engines. You're listening to Pedal to the Metal, Motors and Music, the show where horsepower, stories, and great music come together. From beautiful collector classics to fire-breathing race cars to the ground-shaking thunder of monster trucks, this is where the world of motors meets the power of music. So strap in tight, fire up, and grab your favorite cold drink, because a ride is about to begin. And now, here's your host, Roller.
Hot mic. Hey guys, what's up? What's up, man? Happy Hump Day! That's right, man. Hump Day is almost over with, and then it becomes TGIF real soon. Hey, welcome guys, welcome everybody in the audience. Thank you for showing up today. I got my rowdies. The old three amigos are still in the building right here, man. Come on, let's calm it down. Let's calm it down a little bit. Let's just bring it down a little bit. Come on. All right, that's good. There you go, man. I really appreciate the applause, man. But like I always tell you, I'm just the show host, man. I'm just the show host, and I appreciate everybody, man. Really, I do. Especially you three up front, everybody up in the mezzanine. Glad to have you here in the big section. Thank you so much for showing up tonight. And then everybody online, man. We got Ray Ramirez online right here. Ray, I'll tell you what, man. Sunday it is. I mean, it's supposed to be a snowy weekend this weekend, but Sunday, Rise and Grind Coffee House. It's right there on Singing Hills, 475 Singing Hills Road. Make sure you make plans to attend, man. That's a great little show, man. It's a perfect ending to a weekend. It starts at 9 o'clock. These people are fantastic people, man. They're awesome. And we're going to have some music there and stuff. And just it's a good setting. So make sure you make plans, Ray, if you can. But Singing Hills Road is right off of Delbert Road. But if you go ahead and type in your GPS 475 Singing Hills Road, it'll take you right to it, man. It's just a little coffee shack, and you can't miss it. It's right there on Singing Hills Road, and you can't miss it right there. So, it'd be a drive for you in the metro area, but it's definitely worth it, man, if you want to get out and check out some good hot rods and just have some good fellowship with some great people right there. So, hey, guys, tonight we got Kevin Rutter, one of the young guns of auctioneering on tonight. Kevin's a very, very well-known auctioneer in the game of benefits and galas and different things like that. Plus, he's just getting on. I say just getting on. He's been auctioneering for a while, but he's just now getting some jobs at the car auctions, and he's doing real well. He's traveling a lot. He'll be talking to us tonight from Albuquerque, New Mexico, and then after that on Thursday, he flies to Phoenix and does a sale there, and then he'll be back here in town, and then he's probably got a gala or some kind of benefit auction or something over the weekend. So, hello, Carter, how are you? But it's going to be a good show. And then we have a gentleman that is a local singing artist here. He's really a drummer, and he plays with Adam Creech and those guys, and for an Atomic Experience, and he's the drummer for them. And we had him on. We had him all on here a while back, and me and Deadboard were talking, and I invited him on the show, and he finally decided he wanted to be on the show, and so he sent me some of his music, and we're going to listen to that. And we're going to just have a good show, man. I've got some other stuff made, and we'll play those songs too. But I'll tell you what, man, if you're looking for, it's time to pay some bills, but if you're looking for that perfect gift for the car enthusiast in your life, make sure you give Jesse Scott at Jesse Scott Craft and Creation Studio a big call. His phone number is 715-721-5999, or you can get him at www.jessescott.com. And I'm telling you what, man, this man makes the big light, the big spark plug light, or he makes the light box, and that's your company logo on it. And man, he's just a great dude, man, and he'll hook you up. He's making trophies for my car show in Pueblo on the 31st of May, and he's also doing one for Scott Stout. I am going to be a trophy sponsor person for Scott Stout's White Buffalo Car Show. And that's in October on the 3rd. So if you're down in the Snyder, Texas area, make sure you get a hold of them. If you got a C10 truck or any kind of car and you want to put it in there, man, get a hold of Scott. If you want to put a C10 in the truck, Rich has got his C10 Alley, and you can get a hold of him, and he'll put you in there. Robert Haas, what's going on, man? Get it on. That's right. How you doing, Rolla? I'm doing good, my brother. Doing good. I'm even doing better that my brother from another mother is in the house right now, Robert Haas. But anyway, Jesse Scott's Crafts and Creations, a great guy, a great guy. Also, I'd like to thank Seppi's Chala Breads right here. And Ellie is a great lady. She's holding the car show at her business, which is my dad's old original car lot back in the 60s. And it's all full up. We're looking for a great turnout, man. And we got a DJ, we got food, we got everything. We got trophies. We're gonna make it big for the very first time right here. So, I appreciate you guys going down there if you want to go down. There might be some spots opened up. I'm not telling you not to bring your hot rod, but there might be some spots opening up, if somebody doesn't show, or we find enough parking spaces for the 30 that we have, and we have a couple of extra, then we'll let some more people in. So we do appreciate Ellie and all the folks at Seppi's Calabreds right here in Pueblo. 131 Broadway. Their phone number is 719-664-2042, or you can go to www.seppiskosher.com for more information. Sticker packs, I keep forgetting. I don't know why I forget, but I know Robbie was going to put them up. Sticker packs, we got them available. Just go to the website, or you can get a hold of me at jeffrichards327 at 327@gmail.com. And you can go ahead and ask me for a sticker pack, and I'll send them to you and stuff like that. But we got quite a few stickers. The new stickers are in. The new stickers look just like the logo up above on me, above my head right there. And it's the pedal to the Metal Motors and Music logo right there. So we'll go ahead and let's see here. On the 26th, we have Trent Holsworth. He's a young gun auctioneer. And then I was talking to Rod Wood today, and Rod Wood has canceled his interview until next month. He has some health problems going on, and he has to take care of all this stuff first. And, of course, we completely understand, man. So McGruff the Crime Dog will not be on the 26th. You never know who we call. We might even call old Robert Haas and ask him how his show went and find out about that down there in Florida with BJ and Kevin King. You never know what old Roller's going to do. So anyway, guys, then on the 29th, we got Ethan McDowell. He's a young gun auctioneer, and he has McDowell's. His family has McDowell's auction service. It's called Pyramid Auto Auctions down in Pueblo, and he's going to have a big auction, and he's going to be talking to us from the WAC Auctioneers Competition. That's the World Auto Auctioneers Championship in Memphis, Tennessee, man. So he's going to be talking to us live from down there. He's going to go hang out with all the world champions. Scott Goodhue's going to be down there, and it's going to be a good one, man. I would really like to be there just because of the royalty of auctioneers that are going to be in that contest, or be at that contest. Once you win, you can't be in it anymore. But just a good deal. So let's go ahead and talk about these metal show boards, metal prints. Just around the corner. Car show season's already here. It's not just around the corner. It's here. And my buddy Texas Rich makes a metal show board, a metal show board or a metal print. And I'm telling you what, man, these things are phenomenal. They'll step the game up on your display. I had my stuff over at Trucks and Screwdrivers the other day with my C10, and I had my sign out on the hood and stuff. And, man, people were stopping and looking at it and reading it. And I swear, after they got done reading it, they walked around and they were checking out the doors and they were checking out all the stuff on it and just looking at the truck. And it's really changed how people perceive my truck at the car shows. So instead of walking by it, they're taking a look. So if you want to get one of these metal show boards or metal prints, they come in 11 by 14, 16 by 20, or 20 by 30. And you can contact Rich at texasrich@c10americamagazine.com. That's texasrich@c10americamagazine.com. And he'll tell you the pricing, tell you what you need. I know you need 15 pictures. I know you need, and they got to be good pictures. Don't try to focus in on your truck and get it all in the shot. Go ahead and take a wide view, because Rich can crop that and take it down. He doesn't want anything that's got a bumper cut off or a tire cut off. He wants you to take the whole picture of your vehicle, and then he will crop it down to size. And he can even remove. Say you take your picture and there's maybe a traffic cone in the picture, and you don't want that traffic cone in there. Rich can edit that out. Now, there's a charge for that editing, but he can take that, and that traffic cone will never be in your metal print. So he's amazing at what he does. But once again, that's Texas Rich at c10americamagazine.com for any information on those metal prints. So make sure you make plans to get a hold of him. And then we'd like to thank my buddy Art at Arch Auto Glass. He has a 24-hour day service right there. Not 24 hours, but he has a mobile service. That's what I'm trying to look at. I'm stumbling here. A mobile service, and he can come right to your business, right to your shop, your house. You can come to the Walmart. He can do whatever you need to do. And if you mention the show, you get 10% off on installation. So that's Arch Auto Glass. Art is his name, and he's a great guy. His phone number is 720-296-8635. That's 720-296-8635. Mention the name of the show, and you get 10% off of installation. Well, that goes through the sponsorships and stuff for right now real fast. We have a few more that we play just before we start the second half, but that'll do it for those right now. So over the weekend, over the week here, I kind of been working on a few songs right here. And I don't know if anybody out there listening has ever been down on Beale Street in Memphis, Tennessee. But if you've never been down there and you get a chance to go to Memphis, you got to go to Beale Street. It's got so much history of musicians, B.B. King, Elvis Presley, Chubby Checkers, all the greats, man. Little Richard, everybody played on Beale Street, and you need to go down there and check it out, man. So I made a song, and it's called "Walking with the Legends on Beale Street," and I think it come out really good, man. So this is the song right here. We'll be back. You're listening to Pedal to the Metal, Motors and Music. The name of the song is "Walking with the Legends on Beale."
Neon flickers on the sidewalk, Memphis night. Neon flickers on the sidewalk, Memphis night alive. Boot steps echo down the pavement where the blues still thrive. From the days of theater to club handy's old stage glow, every corner's got a heartbeat from 100 years ago. I passed by Rum Boogie Cafe, hear a guitar cry, like a king of blues still bending notes that never die. And I swear I hear a piano rolling through the night, like Fats Domino's still playing somewhere out of sight. I'm walking with the legends on Beale tonight, where the past and the present collide in the light. Every doorway's got a story, every shadow's got a name, and the ghosts of the music still fan the flame. Yeah, I'm walking with the legends on Beale. They say a young man once walked here, quiet, watching every move. Learn the soul of every rhythm, every Memphis groove. Elvis Presley found his fire in these midnight sounds. Now his echo rides the breeze when the sun goes down. I feel a Lucille crying in the humid air tonight. That sweet sting of 6 steel strings cutting through the night. You can hear B.B. King in every note that lingers on, like he never really left, just kept playing on. I'm walking with the legends on Bill tonight, where the past and the present collide in the light. From the stages to the sidewalks, every scar and stain still carries every chorus, every loss and gain. Yeah, I'm walking with the legends on Bill. Some are names in neon, some are carved in stone, some just live forever in a broken microphone. But they all come back when the night rolls in, and that old street starts to sing again. I'm walking with the legends on Bill tonight. Hear 'em laughing in the distance, just out of sight. Every step I take, I ain't alone at all. I can feel 'em in the rhythm of this southern call. Yeah, I'm walking with the legends on Bill. Just a man and a memory, and a street that never sleeps.
There you go. Walking with the legends on Beale tonight. Guys, I'll tell you what, man. Really, you owe it to yourself to, if you ever get a chance to go to Nashville or to Memphis or any of those towns, you got to go check out these places, man. The history is just so awesome, man. I mean, you're standing where legends were created, where they first started, and it's just amazing. They say that Elvis Presley spent a lot of time as a young man just listening to different artists and stuff like that down on Beale, man. He'd come in the back doors and sit down and listen and jam with them a little bit and stuff. And it's a great atmosphere. It really is. So thank you, Ray. I appreciate that, man. I think it is a hell of a song. I really do. And now that the World Champion Auto Auction competition is going to be down there, and that's going to be a good time, man. There's going to be champions in auctioneering, along with all the world-renowned singers that are going to be down there. So I suggest that you definitely go see it, man. If you ever get a chance to go down to Beale, or if you're even close. And then, of course, if you're in Memphis, you got to go by Graceland, man. You got to go by Graceland. That's just a must. It's a big must to go by Graceland for sure. So this next song right here, this next one here is about the streets in Nashville and all the Music Row in Nashville. And back in the day, the Grand Ole Opry, they had, they're still there, of course, but they have a new building now. But the old building, the Rhyme Theater, had an alley, a backdoor entrance where all the people in the bands would come and they'd enter. But after they got done playing, they would walk across the street to this bar called Tootsie's. And when you walk into Tootsie's in the back there, the back entrance, it's really, it's just a totally, I don't know, it's you can feel your hair standing up on your arms because of the people that's walked through this doorway. And as they walk through, it's an archway, and it's kind of a brick arch, or maybe a rock arch, more of a rock looking archway that comes into the building. And all the artists took the time, and they have signed their names on this wall, all over this wall. And you got people on there they're not even alive anymore, that Hank Williams and people like that, Loretta Lynn, oh God, there's so many that my mind just can't fathom how many people are there. So the Rhyme Theater is no longer out of that building, but the Rhyme Theater is there, I do believe. But I know Tootsie's is there because it's world renowned. So if you ever go to Nashville, go down there on Music Alley down there, and go into Tootsie's and go to the back and go look at all the names that are up on the wall. In fact, I think they might have even put clear plastic over it, because people were trying to chip names off, or people were trying to write their names on it and stuff, and it was really messing up the history of the people that come through there, that come there after performing at the Rhyme Theater, So this one here is called Tootsie's Alley. We'll be right back here on Pedal to the Metal, Motors and Music.
There's a narrow little alley where the neon fades to dim. Just a back door and a memory most folks walk past and miss. Brick walls worn from boots and time, stories in the grain, every name scratched in that arch still echoes just the same. I ain't played the Opry, ain't never wore that crown, just a stranger in the shadows where the legends came around. But I swear I felt a presence as I stepped up through that frame, like every soul that passed here once was whispering their name. In Tootsie's Alley, under that old archway, where the past ain't gone, it just don't ever fade. Signatures and spirits hanging in the air. I ain't one of them, but I can feel them there. Yeah, in Tootsie's Alley. Some are still out singing, some have long moved on, but they all come back together when that back door light comes on. You can almost hear the laughter, boots on hardwood floors, and 100 midnight dreams walking through that door. In Tootsie's Alley, under that old archway, where the past ain't gone, it just don't ever fade. Every name a story, every line a prayer. I ain't one of them, but I can feel them there. Yeah, in Tootsie's Alley. Yeah. I ran my hand across those names, carved in the years, felt the weight of every mile, every doubt, every tear. And for a moment in that silence, I didn't feel alone, like the road I'm still walking, they already know. In Tootsie's Alley, where the legends still remain, in the scratches on the wall and the whiskey stains. I might never make that stage, never hear my call, but tonight I stood among them in that narrow hall. Yeah, in Tootsie's Alley. Just a back door and a feeling, and 1,000 names on the wall.
There you go, in Tootsie's Alley right here on Pedal to the Metal, Motors and Music. Well, it's time to give Kevin a call right here. Let's give him a call. Now, for you guys that don't know a little backstory on Kevin, Kevin was the gentleman that was instrumental in me being able to write this music. He showed me the AI program, and I took it from there. But he's the one that introduced me to that. This is Kevin Rutter. How are you today? This is Mr. Kevin Rutter. What's up, brother?
What's up?
What's up? No, dude.
I was listening to your music though. You're getting pretty good on that.
Dude, I thank you every time that I make music, man, because you were the one that night that that showed me the program. I was infatuated that night, dude. And Kevin, I checked it the other day. I've made 175 songs already to date.
Wow.
Yeah, 175, and got 4 albums out. And
Wow.
it's all because of you. Now, if you're looking for royalties, I can't share anything because it's just not there, bro. It's just not. You know what? I people love it, and I love playing it for them, and that's all that matters. I've sold some, and thank you to the people that's bought them. But it's just been it's been incredible, man, and I can't thank you enough for turning me on to that. If that program ever goes away, I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm going to go through withdrawals, man. I really do.
It's a better thing will come. That's just how things are, man. Evolve or die in this world and all the things that we do, and that's just kind of it.
It's the truth, man. It really is. Kevin, have you ever been down to Memphis or over to Nashville to any of those places like Beale Street or Music Row?
I've been in Nashville, did a fundraising event out there, but I have not been there for like just hanging out, having a good time or anything like that. No.
So you didn't get a chance to see anything.
No, that's the thing about this career. People always say, "Oh, it's cute, you get to travel a lot," but it's not as fun and as romantic as you think, right? Because we're just in there doing business and going home.
Yeah, man, it's the truth. And I know what you mean. It's always business is in and out. You get in, you get out. But if you ever do go back again, you owe it to yourself to definitely stay a day and go see Beale Street and go see Graceland and that, or go down on Music Row and just it's just phenomenal, man. It's just
Well,
it's phenomenal. It really is.
Well, one thing that's a good little marketing hook here because the World Automobile Auctioneer Championship is going to be there this year.
Yeah.
So that gives you the chance to do that. And in fact, our buddy Scott, world champion, one of only 30 in the entire world, is going to be there as well. And he personally told me he's going to Graceland. I asked him if he had ever been there before, and he told me he has not, but this time he is. So it's funny you mentioned that.
Yeah, I really wish that I could be part of the group this year going down there, not to compete. My competing days are over with, man. My competing days did exactly what I wanted. When I competed, all I wanted to do was get jobs, and it, by the grace of God, I got those jobs, and I still hold a few of those jobs, and it done exactly what it. And I placed well in some of the contests and stuff. Don't get me wrong, and I met a lot of great people, and still call them friends to this day. But you know, it's just amazing to see to be at one of these contests with these world champions and be in a room with like you said, there's only 30 of them, and these guys are amazing, aren't they, Kevin? They are totally phenomenals.
No doubt. Yup, they're freak of nature. That is certainly the case, and a lot of them, they've been doing this in their entire family. Like they're like legacy and multiple, like the Adcocks. I mean, you got the two brothers, the dad, the grandfather.
Yeah.
Like a lot of people, multiple family generational things. That this business is quite unique versus. I really think any job in the entire world. And I put this in perspective, just to put this in perspective. There are on one NFL football team 53 players. I don't know if you know
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
48 that are really active. And so just on the Denver Broncos, in Colorado, there are 48 active players. There are more NFL players on a single team, Jeff, than there are professional auto auctioneers in the entire state of Colorado. So that means you are more likely to play for the Denver Broncos than you are to be an auto auctioneer in the state of Colorado. Think about that. That's how crazy it is. In fact, even another perspective, I'll tell you this, and we're not unique here in Colorado. The entire National Auctioneers Association, the NAA, has less members, in fact, for the whole nation, in fact, the world, if not the NAA, than there are Navy SEALs. There are about 2,500 Navy SEALs in the world. There are less people in the NAA, the whole National Auctioneer Association, than there are Navy SEALs. It is a rare breed to be an auto auctioneer or to just be an auctioneer in general. Very, very hard profession to get in. You're more likely to play on a professional sports team than you are the chances of being an auctioneer or even an auto auctioneer.
Yeah, that's true. People have asked me, did you like doing what you did? I said, I always tell them, I was totally blessed by the good Lord above because of the jobs that I had, because of the motorsports announcing job and being an auto auctioneer. I mean, it's just something that I really never, I was around it my whole life being in the car business, but I never thought that I would become one. And the day that Jim Barnes come in and said, I'm taking all prospective auctioneer or potential auctioneers to lunch, I was just hungry, man. I wanted a free lunch. And man, about 2 weeks later, I was out in San Francisco and I was counting to 100 forwards and backwards and as many different ways as you could do it and busting it down. And man, it was the greatest decision I ever made in my life.
Well, I think there's really two lanes in this business. There is a lane where you might know somebody that was in the auction business. You have a friend, a relative, a niece, nephew, uncle, brother, the guy next door, or your family was in the car dealer business or the auto auction business or something involved in the industry, and that opens the door or at least the crack that gets you in. Paul Bear said somebody can help you get a job, but nobody can help you keep one. That's up on you, but somebody can certainly help you get one. And then there's an entire different lane, and that's what are you doing here? How the heck did you get in this business? And I don't know if you know my story, but it was pretty unique, pretty weird how I got in it. I had no idea. I didn't know anything about no auction business or anything like that. I didn't even know what a ring was. The only thing I knew was I thought it was like a ring bearer, like in the wedding, ring in, ring bearer. I thought that was the same thing, man. I had no freaking clue what this was about.
Yeah. Well, that's why you're on the show tonight because number one, we want to hear your story. And, Sean Green, how are you, my brother? But we want to know exactly how you started and what you did. So, Kevin, the show is yours. Let's talk, man.
Well, originally, so I have three brothers, three older brothers, three younger sisters, drop dead broke in my family. Taxi cab driver shot right on my front porch in New York City, Queens. not the best of neighborhoods, really the asphalt jungle of the world. Back in the day in the 80s, 90s, that's where the mafia was at, the Teflon Don, Gotti, all that stuff right in my neighborhood. That's kind of where all that action was. My parents moved to Colorado. I had a brother that was a lot of my family, Irish kids from Queens, New York, a lot of cops and firemen in my family. In fact, one of my cousins, Brian Macleys, who was a fireman, lost his life on September 11th.
Oh, wow.
And my brother Ed was also there. And a lot of family relatives in that sort of connection. And then I had some family that were in the plumbing business. And so that's where I originally got into. And then back in 2009, when the whole world was falling apart and, everything looked like the bottom dropped out, I didn't know what the heck I was going to do. Like, I had no idea. I was in plumbing. I had a business in plumbing and really didn't know what I did. So I didn't start, as you call us, young guns, young to me in this industry, but not young as a person, because my first job was running a business doing plumbing. Uh-huh. And at that point, Jeff, I didn't know what to do. And I'm a guy who believes in something else, a higher power, God himself. And, I don't have enough faith to be an atheist, man. I just don't have enough faith to be an atheist. Science proves that there's something else. And so I decided I was going to fast for a week. And I wasn't going to eat anything. I don't know what I thought I was, Moses or something. And I was going to be, what's his name with the 10 Commandments, Charlton Heston or something. Yeah. I thought I was going to climb on the top of a mountain or some crap and think that, God was going to say, good job, Kevin. You didn't eat for a week. I don't know, but I knew that, that was a thing. And in the Bible, it's spoken many times about fasting. And so I decided I wasn't going to eat anything for an entire week. And so I went into the mountains, believe it or not. I know, crazy idea. Hey, don't eat, just drink water, and then run around in Colorado at a real high elevation to see what happens to you. It's a true story. I wish I made this up. But for an entire week, I don't eat anything. I go run around in the mountains, and guess what? When I get back to my car, I locked my keys in my car.
Oh, my God.
And I didn't have no phone or nothing, so I took a big brick, and I threw it at the window to bust the window. I'll tell you what, that tempered glass thing is for real.
It is.
It did not break the first time. I had to smash it 3 times before it finally broke the window. Uh-huh. And I'm thinking to myself, I have no career. I'm eating nothing for a week. And now I'm busting the window of my car in the mountains near Tiny Town and Falcon and all that. But anyway, so I'm like, what am I doing myself up by Conifer? And so I then bust the window, get back in my car, drive all the way home. My wife at the time says, hey, it's a Cub Scout bake sale today. We made a cake. Like I need a cake. I haven't eaten in a week. And I'm smelling this thing. It was amazing. My son and I had made it earlier that week. And my son was a Tiger Cub. My son, Brian, who you've met, but he was a Tiger Cub. So he was like 4 or 5 years old, the youngest group. And he was very little. And we went to this thing that was there. And there sat a man named Paul Seabear auctioning off those cakes. And so he auctioned those cakes off and he gave a bunch of kids these tongue twisters on printed paper. And he said to me, hey, you did that pretty good. You ever thought about being an auctioneer? And I thought to myself, I hadn't eaten in 7 days. And I'm praying, God, show me a sign, show me something, show me anything.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden there's a guy standing in front of me who's telling me about what? Auction business? Like, God, is this you? Is this how you operate? Is this a sign? And at that point, I'm like, I know nothing about this profession. I have no idea what he's talking about. And so I went home and prayed about it. And then I decided, all right, screw it. What do I got to lose, right? I'm going to take a leap of faith like Peter who walks out of the boat. I mean, in James 2 in the Bible, believe it or not, Jeff, it says faith without action, faith without works is dead. When I grew up in Queens, New York, there were always those kids that mouthed it off in class, maybe for you here in Colorado too, in Pueblo. And we would say this was our thing, put up or shut up.
Yeah.
Put up or shut up. And you know what? Most of them, they sat back in the seat. They didn't get up. And you were like, that's what I thought. Sit down. Right. And that's kind of how I felt with this sort of thing, which is action. God gave me this thing. Am I going to act on it? And so I did. I went to auction school. I slept in my car because I didn't have enough money to get a hotel room, which was in Mason City, Iowa, which I don't know if you know, Mason City, Iowa has 2 claims to fame. Buddy Holly died there in the Big Bopper in a plane crash.
Yeah.
And then guess what? Worldwide College of Auctioneering. Like, that's all that freaking town has. And so that's what I did. I went to that school. Paul didn't even freaking recognize me. He didn't even know who I was. He was just like, doing his thing. And I said, "Do you know who I am?" And he said, "Oh, no." I tried to act like he knew. He had no idea. He was confused.
Right.
And so, just because he talks to so many people, I didn't know how influential he was in the auction business. I didn't know that he was like the David Copperfield of magic.
Yeah.
Meaning, if you're a magician, Jeff, and you say, "Have you ever heard of David Copperfield?" and you say no, I'm going to question you if you're a magician. I mean, the guy made the Statue of Liberty freaking disappear on television, right?
Yeah,
like,
true.
everybody knows who freaking David Copperfield is. He's at MGM in Las Vegas. Like, the guy's done everything. So he is, and that's the same as I see Paul Seabear. He really is that known. He could be in Alaska, Africa. I don't care what kind of auctioneer you are. If I bring up the name Paul Seabear, you probably know who he is. I didn't know who he was. And there I am talking to him. And then I told him, "Hey, man, you were at my son's Cub Scout bake sale." And he tells me the story that, yeah, the reason why I freaking went there, he didn't say freaking, but he said the reason why I was there, because Paul doesn't talk like that.
Right.
He's like, the reason why I was there is because one of the managers had a kid apparently at Mannheim and said, "Hey, I can probably get one of the auctioneers to come." And he asked Paul, and Paul did it.
Yeah.
Like, that's the only reason why Paul was there. Had Paul not been there, or had I not stepped in, I would have never even thought about getting into the auction profession. And when I mean getting in, I had no idea how extremely hard it is. Hardest thing I had ever decided to attempt to achieve, and that is trying to get in a business that was in a whole different lane, a whole different world, a whole different hierarchy, sort of like a mafioso, if you will.
Right.
And I was blessed to meet a few people that, little by little I clawed away and finally got there. I'm not going to say a name, but I'll tell you a story. Maybe I told you this story already, Jeff. True story, by the way. I remember I was there about 3 weeks at the auto auction. I just showed up randomly. I mapped out all the auctions within a 5-hour radius from my house, which furthest out would be Hayes, Kansas. That one used to be on Friday.
Right.
Loveland was Friday. Thursday, we had 2 sales back in the day, dealers, and we had Odessa.
Right.
Wednesday was Denver Mannheim. Tuesday was Denver Mannheim by the Sapp brothers. And Monday was Clody's.
Yep.
And I knew them all. I had them all mapped out. And so I made a point to try to go to several of these a week, and I would stand there for hours. And one time I pointed, there was a guy, won't mention who, but I saw this guy missed a bid, and I pointed at him. This guy said, "Hey, man, you missed that guy." The guy looked straight at me, this auctioneer person, and he says, "Jeff," he says, "Hey, man, take a look at my belt buckle." And I said, "What do you mean?" He said, "Look at my Elfin belt buckle." And I was like, "What?" He goes, "Look at my Elfin buckle. It says blankety blank. I'm an auctioneer. Now get the blank out of here." And I thought, sit down and learn something. So I sat on the bench, shut my mouth, and listened to what he had to say. But that was sort of my introduction into trying to get yourself in. And that's the way the world really is, though, isn't it, Jeff? Like,
yeah, it is.
Everything is. You can freaking cry and think, "Oh no, I failed, and I could have walked out that day," or I could have took that and bid on it a little bit and said, "Maybe there is something I need to learn. Maybe I shouldn't have did that, and maybe that person's right." And that was sort of an introduction for me to learn if I want to get in this business, it's not going to be easy, and I'm going to have to earn it. And that's kind of how it all took place for me.
You of everybody, I've never seen so much try, because you literally were at every time I turn around, you were at the auction, and you just never got your shot, man. You never got your shot, and nobody really knew who you were. And you were boisterous. I mean, you were very boisterous, very loud, and you deserve everything you've gotten now, because of the fact is that you never did give up. You never gave up, man. You kept trying and kept trying. And I think your first job down there was in Colorado Springs, wasn't it?
Right. And I was blessed by 2 amazing human beings, Kenny, who I feel like is my dad in the auction business,
right,
and a dear friend, like a second dad to me, and a guy by the name of Harley Troyer.
Yeah.
In my bathroom sits a picture, and on that picture, which Harley and you may have heard me mention it, but it's a pumpkin patch. It's my son Brian, who looks like he's about 7 years old in the picture. My daughter, I think, is 8 or 9. And what happened was, the very day we were at that pumpkin patch, my kids were homeschooled. We went there with a homeschool group. We were at that pumpkin patch, and I got a phone call. In fact, 2 phone calls. And one of those phone calls was also by you. I don't even know if you know this, Jeff. And it was John Smith offering me a job to work Wednesdays in New Mexico.
Right.
And I owe that to you because you had worked there and you saw me around there and you were like, you know what, man, why don't you try calling down there? I hear something's going on down there. And I did. I called that back down there where Gippers was down there, Not Boys were down there, John Smith was running the show, and I called down there. And then I got a call from Harley Troyer. And he said, hey, man, I'm going to let you know something. There's a job that's going to open there. I'm going to go move to dealers. And I'm telling Trevor, you have an opportunity to work down there. I can't guarantee anything, but, give Trevor a call. I'm going to tell him your number and give me about 30 minutes. I'm going to let you call. I don't even know why Harley did that. Like, I have no idea. There were a million people he could have did that to. He did that for me. And I didn't know.
He's seen something in you, man, really. That's what he did.
Back in the day, he was lane one, him with Kevin Murray in Denver. And I always went over there. He always talked to me with a nice voice. He was always polite.
Yep.
And I learned a lot from that guy. But anyway, long story short, he really kind of painted the way for me and got me my first job there. And Kenny was so instrumental in everything, held me by my hand and helped me through everything. Yeah. And if it wasn't for Kenny, man, I would not even have my first job. I wouldn't even have it.
Yeah, Kenny Paradise is an amazing man. He has a heart as big as Texas, man, and he's helped so many of us out. It's just like me. I called him up and I said, hey, Kenny, I said, I need to get in down there. I said, I don't know if you can pull any strings or whatever. And his next words were, I'm going to tell everybody to go politic for you, man, because we want you here. And I needed the job in the worst way, man. I needed that Tuesday job down there. And, by the grace of God, I'm still down there and I work with you guys every week. And you know what? Hey, yeah, it's a drive, but it is not a big drive anymore, man. It's just like, it's like something you do on Tuesday, but it can be kind of shitty weather in the summer, in the wintertime, but hey, you go down the night before, and you buy that hotel room that you really don't have the money to buy, but you're there and you're working, and you never know what the future is going to bring. But getting back to Harley, a gentleman's gentleman. Harley Troyer is just the nicest guy in the world, man. I cannot say enough good things about Harley Troyer because he's an amazing man. He's a very well accomplished auctioneer, very respected in the horse business, and just a great guy. And you had people like that went to bat for you, and those GMs knew those guys, and they knew the credibility those guys carried. And they said, if these guys are talking about this kid the way that they are, this kid's got to have something. And then Kevin, like you said before earlier tonight, they can get you in the door, but they can't keep the job for you. And you have kept the job forever. I mean, you've kept the job for how many years you've been working in Springs now?
A really long time. I don't know, man. I mean, it was my first job and I had that for a very long time. I kept fighting to try to get everywhere else, but man, it's a dog world and you got to wait for your spot. And again, for anybody that didn't hear this, right? The reality is you're more likely to be on a professional sports team than you are to be a professional auto auctioneer. Think about that. There are more players on the NFL for the Broncos than there are auto auctioneers in the state. There are more auctioneers in the NAA than there are there are more Navy SEALs than there are auctioneers in the NAA. It's a very tight, exclusive job that's very hard to get, and if you don't have somebody gunning for you, it is very difficult. You're more like, again, go join the Broncos. You got a better chance of being a Bronco player or getting in the Navy SEALs than you got being an auto auctioneer. It is very, very tough. But Kenny, man, I go back to Kenny real quick, and that is me and Kenny. How we met is I wanted to meet Kenny. I knew Kenny was the guy down there. Like Kenny's the guy.
He is. Still is. I mean, still is really.
Yeah, but Kenny's the man now, and he's always been the man. Kenny's been there since before the dirt was there. And Kenny knows that's true. He was at the old professional.
Yeah, he was.
Kenny's been there forever. Kenny had that front office there. And I wanted to meet Kenny so desperately. Back in the day, he was lane A. And I was like, man, how do I get to know this guy? And a friend of mine, another auctioneer who did estate sales and stuff, he says, you know what? A lot of those guys like Crown. get yourself about a crown, and you might get to know him. And I was like, really? And so I was working for Rocky Mountain Estate Brokers, a guy named David Whitley, which, by the way, was my very first job. I should go back to that, tell you that, but David Whitley, and I got all of this crown, every flavor, the apple, all the different flavors, this giant thing. I bet that thing was worth $1,000. And he says he still owns it. Anyway, I wrapped it and wrapped it, and I just slid it under his desk like nothing. At that point, Kenny walks up to me and he says, "Did you get me that?" And at that point, Kenny knew who I was. Like, he saw me come in, but I knew Kenny, and Kenny knew Kevin, and that was it. And that was my first crack to do that. But, as funny as that sounds, that's networking. That's life in anything you have. You want something, you want a job, you want a career, you want to go somewhere and something, nothing's going to get handed to you, man. Like, it's that way. And by the way, it's the same thing as, have you ever heard the conspiracy of this group called the Skull and Bones? Like, every president was a member of the Skull and Bones Society, like this fraternity. Well, the reality is, think about it for a moment. All those guys that are presidents, guess what they hang out with? Other people, the golf clubs, they all network. And that's the way it is in any profession, whether you're being an auto auctioneer or you're being something else. That's just the way it is. But originally, when I was trying to get in the auto auction business, I needed to make a living. And so I told myself what I was going to do was I was going to mail every single auto auction, and I got an NAA book. Remember when they used to have the National Auto Auction Association, and they had a map in the front and all the auctions? I emailed a resume to every single one of them. By the way, I only got one call back. None of them were in Colorado. It was a guy in Hawaii, and he said, "You live in Colorado? You really know? Did you realize that you sent this to me in Hawaii?" I didn't care. I was just trying to get my name out there. And I also sent it to every single Colorado Auctioneer Association member. And I became a member and said, "Hey, I'm a brother from another mother, and I'm trying to meet you guys. I was just at the association, and I would love to work for you." Guess how many called me back?
How many?
One. And the guy's name was David Whitley. And David Whitley said, "Wow, man, this is pretty unique." What I did is I put it in a red envelope with a business card that I had professionally made that I had no money for.
Right.
And I put in there that I was a member of the Professional Ringman Institute, that I went to Worldwide College of Auctioneering, my background in sales and old sales classes I took, and my educational background, and I'm doing all these things trying to get in the profession. Dave Whitley gave me a shot in Eaton, Colorado, and he was my first boss. He was the first guy to give me a job, and kind of put me under his wing. Yeah. And if it wasn't for Dave, I wouldn't have been able to afford my 1994 Geo Metro hatchback.
I remember the car, the white
62 miles to the gallon, and that's how I got there, man. Starving, trying to get my way, and always just try to be positive about everything. By the way, Chalfant asks if I know his dad, Mark Chalfant, which of course I know Mark. And in his messages there, I see that, and absolutely, I met Mark.
That's Mark's daughter.
Yeah, well, just so you know this, I tried to network with your pop to try to get a job there. Hey, man, and I knew he liked Rockies tickets, and I had a friend that had really good seats, probably about 5 or 6 rows up from the dugout. And I think I gave Mark 2 sets of tickets, 2 separate times. Somebody gave them to me. And I was just like, man, I wonder if there's somebody I could give these to that really likes games. Mark was a fan. And so I gave those tickets to Mark twice. Just because I knew he liked them. And I happened to have gotten them. One time I got them, and then I went to the auction, and there was Mark, the big, awesome man that he was. And I was like, "Hey, you want to go to Rockies game?" And he was like, "Oh, man, you take them." And I was like, "Man, you know what? I'm not going to go to the game." And so I gave him those tickets. So, hey, man, I always tried to do everything I could to try to network and learn who somebody was. That's and what they liked, what the profession was, how to be, because I knew I was the odd man out. Like, I didn't have a brother, niece, nephew, uncle, relative in the profession or a business like it of any freaking kind. And I knew I was like a billion and one to try to get a job in this industry. And again, thanks to Kenny Paradise and people like, Harley Troyer and God meeting me with that day with a freaking pole bear and, just a turn of events like that. And consistently working at it and, trying to get in an impossible job made it possible.
Right. Well, not only are you an accomplished auto auctioneer, but you have made a name for yourself in the galas and the benefit world and do an extremely well job and is in demand. People call you from all over. You travel all over the United States doing these. Talk a little bit about your galas and your benefits.
Yeah, I'll tell you what happened was originally Jeff, I was so consumed with trying to be an auto auctioneer. I'm going to get in the auto auction business. I'm going to get in the auto auction business. I was spending so much time driving 3 or 4 auto auctions a week. I mean, driving from Hayes, Kansas to Denver. I mean, I was going broke on gas,
Right.
like even still my car made gas. And so, and then I'm working for this guy part-time, Dave Whitley. I started thinking to myself, I got 2 kids. I have a wife. I got a house. I got to start building my own business. And because I had a business background and I was doing plumbing and I had clients back in the day before I went out of that business, I thought, if I just spent a little bit of time working as hard as I was trying to get in the auto auction business and build my own business, I probably would be better off. And that's the one regret I do have. I wished earlier in my profession had I gotten immediately into do fundraising events, because no matter what technology does or AI or any of that stuff, people still want to go out, be entertained, and go out and mingle. And fundraising events are definitely here, in my opinion, to stay. It's sort of like being a keynote speaker, a motivational speaker, and asking for money at the same time. It's a different kind of auction, but you raise a lot of money for great causes, and it's your own business. Like, these are your own clients, and it's very lucrative. You can do a great job with it. And so, I do travel around. I have some clients that I do multiple events for in multiple states. And that's kind of a bit of a networking thing too. I did magic before. It was always a side hustle of mine. In fact, I used to do the Denver Broncos Christmas party. I did Peyton Manning's kid's birthday party. Helton, what's his name?
Todd Helton?
From the Rockies. Todd Helton's kid's birthday party. So I did that, and I sort of was kind of an entertainer of sorts already. So I thought, hey, this isn't that far off from that. And so that's when I started really trying to pursue doing fundraising auctions. I wish I had jumped in it sooner, but that's really kind of my bread and butter, and it's done really well for me.
Yeah. Kevin, just for instance, I have Scott called me Tuesday afternoon after I got home, and he said, hey, Betty Geis called me, and she wanted me to do this auction, and I can't do it. I'm doing an auction on Friday, but I immediately thought of you because of the background of my son being an addict, and that's what Betty's cause is for and stuff like that. And he said, I immediately thought of you, so I'm gonna tell her that if you can do it, I'm gonna tell her you're gonna do it. So anyway, we got together and we talked today and stuff, and we worked out a deal, and everything's going good. But what do you? I haven't done an auction like that in a long time, Kevin. Give me some point. I'm coming to you for pointers, man. What makes the hook? What do I do to the hook to make everybody, have a good time and just enjoy themselves?
Well, a great fundraising event has 3 elements. Okay, who we are, what we've accomplished, where we want to go. So every fundraising event should have those 3 things. Who we are, we're this organization, we're this school. They should say that. The reason why is they want to get new people in the room, right? So you want to sort of do that. The second thing is what we've accomplished, things that we've already done that we can share the wins and celebration in the room, right? So we are celebrating. But the third part is where we get the people in the room to become the stars of the show. And that's where we're going to get them to believe in something bigger than themselves. And we're going to share big dreams, things that we want to do, and we can't do it without them becoming the stars of the show by putting their hands up. And so they got to have that. But a great fundraising event not only has those 3 elements about sharing it with the audience, a great fundraising event has to have 3 other elements in the room, and that is great items, the right people, and the right message. You got to have the right items, the right people, and the right message. If you don't have those 3, then the engine has got the check engine light on, and it's not firing on all the right cylinders.
Right.
So you have to have the right people. You got to have the right items and the right message, and all of this has to be pre-planned before. You get to the Super Bowl, you don't just go to the game, right? You got to have your Tom Brady, your Peyton Manning, somebody that's been to the Super Bowl before and who's a great player. And that's me. That's what I always say. I say great fundraising auctioneer is like the quarterback. He's the quarterback of the team. But you know what? I also know that there's a lot of coaches on the team. And so I'm going to run any play you tell me to run. But I'll tell you what, I've been to the Super Bowl before. I've been your Patrick Mahomes, your Tom Brady, your Bo Nix, and I know how to run this place. So I can give you a lot of free, helpful advice on how to be successful. And those three things are: you got to have the right items, got to have the right people, got to have the right message. How do you get the right items? Well, you got to start thinking like an ordinary person in the audience. What do people spend money on already that they already have a budget for?
Right.
Well, let's think about it. Do they have a budget for just randomly buying paintings? Nah, not if they don't have disposable income. Okay. So what do they have a budget for? Their cell phone. Think about yourself, your gas bill, mortgage, right? You got probably a budget for mortgage. You also probably have a budget for what? Eating out.
Right.
And going on vacation.
Right.
So why don't we take their budgeted money already and allow everybody to play in the room? So that way you and your significant other are looking at each other and like, hey, honey, what did we spend last year on going to vacations? About $3,000. I got an idea. Why don't we give the $3,000 to our school? We still go on vacation. And then the school gets the money. And then also, guess what? I get to be a big boy in the room. I get to be Elon Musk, right? I get to be like everybody else, and I get to spend money that I traditionally wouldn't. The weird things that are challenging when you get these weird things, a jacket or something, braces, things like that, that people aren't necessarily spending money on, those are challenging items. So you got to have the right items. And there's a lot of places where you can get that stuff. I keep a list with me of where to obtain things. There's also consignment companies out there that will give you items at cost that you can sell. So there's a lot of cool stuff like that. So you have the ability to have what? The right items. Right. What about the right people in the room? Well, who are the right people in the room? Well, if it's first we got to go look at a school or nonprofit, and we got to find what? The accounts payable and accounts receivable department. Get the AR and the AP. And you might say, we don't have an AR and AP department. I am the accounts payable receivable department. Right. Well, anybody we give money to or gets money from us has a what? Vested interest in the success of this nonprofit or school. Right. And they should be coming to the event. They should be coming to the event. And so those are places to first start. And by the way, if it's a nonprofit or a school, we try to have a pre-party before the party to get the right people to the event. What's that? A pre-party is where we ask the top 10 or 20 donors from our school or from the nonprofit to come to this pre-party. A little backyard barbecue, a little wine and cheese intimate gathering, somebody that likes to do housewarmings that might be on the board or the school, or people that just like to do that. And we get these 10, 20 people, Jeff, and we say this to them, Jeff. Hey, I'm not going to kid you. This school wouldn't be around here. This nonprofit wouldn't be around here if it wasn't for you guys. Like, right. That's how we're getting things started. By the way, if you don't have a nonprofit and you want to start one, same way. You get 10 or 20 of your friends and say, look, man, I'm thinking about doing this, and I couldn't do it without you guys. Like, you've been my buddies for the whole time. Right. Same story. But you know what I'm going to tell you to do? I'm going to ask you to do something. I'm going to ask you to take 8 tickets from me right now as you're sitting in my house having the barbecue that I just had. Pretty cool, right? With the cheese and wine. My wife just got us in the living room here, so it's kind of cool. I just got the cheese platter from Walmart. I know it's not that great and the wine's not good, but hey, thanks for coming. But here's what I want you to do. I want you to take 8 tickets. Commit to being a table captain. This is the key, like-minded, cheerful givers like yourself to fill the table. What am I saying by like-minded, cheerful givers? People that give money. I'm saying it in a nice, tasteful way, though, Jeff. Like-minded, cheerful givers like yourself. And now I know what you're saying. 8 people is a lot of people to commit to. Hold up, wait a minute. You're coming with somebody already. Yeah. You're coming with somebody already. So do you know 3 other couples? That's all it is. 3 other couples that are like-minded, cheerful givers like yourself. Your neighbor, the association you work with, the company you work at, your brother, your relative, somebody else that's like that. And when you can get the right people, now you got the right items. We just need to now what? Work on the right message. Right. And that's where storybooking comes in, and you build around that and learn about the organization, and you create a rally cry around it. I call it a George Bailey moment. I don't know if you've ever seen the movie It's a Wonderful Life. I do. George Bailey, Donna Reed's in it. Yeah. George Bailey has the greatest ask, the greatest fun to need, the greatest appeal the world has ever seen. I don't know if you know it or not, but it's an old black and white Christmas movie, and a lot of people have seen it. If you haven't, check it out this year. It's a cool movie. But George Bailey is in freaking trouble. He's helped out the whole world, helped out his whole neighborhood, and he wants to do the unthinkable. And I shouldn't even say, you know what I mean by when I said the unthinkable. Yeah. That's what he wanted to do to himself. And he's just frustrated with life. He feels like he didn't do anything or accomplish anything. And little does he know, he really changed an entire town and many families for generations. And Donna Reed calls up all these people and does the greatest fun to need, the greatest ask, the greatest appeal the world's ever seen, and says, George is in trouble. And without you guys coming to the occasion, George is going to go to jail. He's going to go to prison for not paying his taxes. Right. And so, guess what? The whole town rallies in, comes to George's thing. One lady gives him like a watch. His brother then, who becomes this great famous hero in the military, said, I want to give a toast to my brother George, the richest man in town. Now, he wasn't saying with money. He met with friends.
Yeah.
But he made the number that needed. And a lot of these nonprofits, they don't really create this rally cry. They just say, hey, we got a slush fund or we got a general fund and we need to make money. That doesn't get the rally cry around. You got to have your George Bailey moment. Without you in this room, these freaking things are not going to happen.
Right.
And so that's kind of where it has to be. So who we are, what we accomplish, where we want to go. That's the three things the nonprofit needs to share with the audience. But the audience they need to have is the right people, the right message, and the right items. You create that kind of background, and you're teed up, if you will, for the chance of winning the Super Bowl. Don't have that, you're in trouble. But better than all that, you got to have a hell of an auctioneer. You got to have somebody that's going to be your Tom Brady when they're in there in the thick of it. Something doesn't work, that they're ready to make a play that nobody else can think of. And that's not a principal. That's not a friend or a relative. You got to have the right person. You got to have a Kenny Paradise. You got to have a Jeff Richards. You got to have somebody like that that's going to pull it off for you. And there you be. That's ultimately what it's at.
Well, the thing is bad is that the auction's this Friday, so nobody has ever had time. I don't even know. Betty told me today you got 10 items or something like that to sell. I don't believe that they're really utilizing, just from my personal opinion, that they're utilizing the whole persona of the benefit and what it really does and everything like that, because of the way she's talking. I mean, I really firmly believe that they should do something like you're saying. But I guess what I'm asking is, Kev, is as somebody that's just got kind of thrown into this deal,
mm-hmm.
and I got to be there Friday night at 5:30, and the auction lasts until 8. Probably go on at 7 maybe or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
What kind of tricks? I mean, what do I got to do, man, to really help make this thing a success?
Yeah, first thing you need to do, man, is get a timeline of the event, to run a show. You got to get that. You got to make sure that your fundraising event is done the hour power, also known as the golden hour. When's the golden hour? The golden hour is right after dinner was served. Because here's the truth, right? We don't know when everybody's going to get there. I don't care if you're a mind reader or anything else. We don't know when everybody's going to get there. Here's the other thing you don't know: when the hell everybody's going to leave. I don't care if you're a genius. No, they're all going to get here at 6 because we say 6. Nah, that doesn't mean that. They're all going to leave at 9 because we're closing the doors. Nah, they might leave sooner. We don't know when they're going to get there. We don't know when they're going to leave. But I'll tell you this: whether the tickets were free, they were $500 or $2,000, and I've been to all those type of events.
Right.
I know one thing they're sticking around for. You know what they're sticking around for, Jeff?
What's that?
The damn food. They're going to get that food.
Guaranteed.
They're getting that food. I don't care if it's a buffet, it's just a little freaking heavy hors d'oeuvres, or it's a sit-down meal. Dang it, they're coming for the food.
Sure
and
they
guess when I want that? And that's when I want that money to be asked for. I want the live auction to be right at the tail end of dessert. And so that is when we're going to ask for the money. And the thing what we need to do also, besides and so whether that's 6, 7, 8 o'clock, make sure you're wedged right in there. And then after the live auction, we're going to have the mop-up crew. And that's when we're going to do the ask, the funding. The people that were trying to give money didn't win the live items. They didn't win the silent auction items. Guess what? Now they have a chance to give us on the ask. They have a chance to give us on that funding, the appeal. And we're going to say different dollar increments. Hey, let's give a round of applause for the people that won at the silent auction. Clap for them, because we already got some money from them. Hey, let's clap for the people that gave for the live auction. But you know what? There was only one winner of every item, Jeff. So for lack of a better word, there's 100 people in the room, and guess what? Majority of you lost.
Right.
And I don't want you to lose in the cause and why we're here, Jeff.
Right.
So I'm going to say some dollar increments. If you feel like a giveaway, you put your hand in the air, not to win an item per se, but to win in the cause of why we exist.
Right.
And, hey, we had some items go for as much as $1,000. That was pretty cool. Can we clap for them? Yeah. Anybody else want them? We'll give them $1,000. Granted, it's tax write-off. I mean, that's not why we're doing it. But anybody willing to put their hand up at that? How about $500? How about $250? How about $100? You can't even go out with your family for $50 for a meal anymore. I mean, it's crazy, right? But imagine what $50 could do for this school, this nonprofit, this charity.
Yeah,
if everybody, I did the math. There's 100 people in the room. If everybody gave $100, whether you gave $5,000, whether you gave a live auction, would everybody just collectively as one group, body believers, stand up at this rally cry and put your hand up at $100? Like something like that needs to happen. You also need to get a list of those live auction items ahead of time. And you need to tell them, trim the fat, get to the facts. Bullet points, not long-winded paragraphs. We don't have any time for that. We live in a generation, Jeff, of TikTok generation. That means short attention spans. When I was a kid, Jeff, there was an amazing thing called books. Do you remember those?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I do.
And the pages smelled. People would read them. Some people would read a book a week. Can you imagine? Crazy people out there. Then people went into movies and TV. They just didn't want to read books. Then came this thing called YouTube. Imagine that. And those things were like 5 minutes long. Well, now they're into not even that. It's YouTube Shorts and it's TikTok.
Yeah.
And your kid asks you, Jeff, hey, I want to show you a funny video. You know what your first question is? How long is it?
Yeah.
And he says it's 2 minutes. And you're like, 2 minutes? Who's got freaking 2 minutes? That's how it is, man. Like, people just don't have the time anymore for it, you know? And so you really got to think that. But I'll tell you what, regardless of what business, Jeff, anybody has, there's one thing I always say, and I want to make sure I get this in here. And that is, I don't care if you're working on yourself physically, mentally, you lost your wife, you lost your situation, you're trying to get back out of that grind, you want to be successful in life. I always say it, and my kids know it. If I ever wrote a book, the title of the book would be, if you don't hunt, you don't eat. And that's just how the world is, man. You don't hunt, you don't eat.
Right.
So maybe what I'm saying right now on Jeff's show here, you're like, I don't care about the auction business. I'm never going to do that. Well, I don't care. What is it you want to do in your life that's kicking you? Who's the person that yelled at you that said you're not going to be in this thing?
Right.
Or you can't do it? Maybe it was a spouse, maybe it was a relative, maybe it was your own dad, maybe it was the job that you just did yesterday at Chick-fil-A. I have no idea. But you know what? You can't let that get you down. If you don't hunt, man, you don't eat. You're not going to, what was it? Gretzky said, you lose every shot that you don't hit at that goal.
That's the truth.
Nobody talks about the great one who's the greatest. Some people say one of the greatest people in sports ever, but definitely the greatest hockey player. Nobody talks about all the shots he missed. They only talk about the shots that he hit.
Right.
And so that's it for all of us, man. You got to go out there and you got to freaking hunt.
Yeah.
Hunt. Be a hunter. And if you do that, you have a chance at whatever it is that you want to do, diet, exercise, anything. Nobody's coming to save your ass. Like, you are the only person that's going to do it. And at some point in your life, you're going to realize that, whether you're 18 in your parents' basement, or you're 35, or you're 65, there's some point you're going to be sitting by yourself saying, holy crap, everything I have and everything I don't have is because, well, me. And I can blame everybody else that had better shots and better chances, and that's not going to get me anywhere. I am where I am, and who is it that's going to help me out?
Yeah.
Myself. And you know what? And the people that I meet and the people I network with that are that God has put in my path. And I'll tell you what, I have a lot of people to thank for that, right? Obviously you, Jeff, Kenny, Harley, Scott, who's incredible, Mark Lund, Josh White, like all these people, the Troyer family. And there's so many other people, man, that I wouldn't even be where I am without all those amazing human beings that God escorted right here in my frame, in my lane of life. And then I had to act out on it. I had to get out of the boat like Peter. I had to do something. I had to react to the thing that's placed in front of me. You know?
Sure. Yeah, my chief auctioneer, he said, I'm going to teach you the 10 two-letter words to live by. And we were all sitting at the table that morning. You know, we met every morning, and he said, the 10 two-letter, and I want you to write these down. And I said, oh, we said, okay. And so we wrote down. He says, if it is to be, it is up to me. And that makes so much sense, you know, like you just said, ain't nobody going to give it to you. You got to go out there and you got to earn it on your own. And it's the truth, man. That I still use that to this day. And I've taught my kids that, you know, if it is to be, it's up to me. And you guys have to do that, man. It's up to you to make it happen for yourself, because ain't nobody going to just give it to you, man. It's just not going to happen, you know?
No, yeah, and in life, don't get me wrong. I mean, you know, whether your dad was president of the United States, obviously he's influential to get you a job somewhere. And I'm sure there's been president's sons that have gotten jobs that we've questioned how they got them, right? And they become millionaires over it. Or, you know, if you're somebody else that's somebody very influential, in this business, obviously the case too, right? You know, there's things like that help. But you know what? If that doesn't count you out, the only person counting you out is yourself, and you need to go out there and try to make it happen. Nobody's doubting the fact that you might have to work harder at something, and you might get passed by 15 times. But you know what? There's a 16th time, there's a 17th time. If you get passed by the 25th time, guess what? There's still a 26th time.
Yeah.
So the only person holding you back, man, is yourself. Don't give up on what you think you were meant and called to do.
Right.
And, you know, you have a chance of doing it. And I know it's kind of silly when I always say that stuff in my room, my bedroom, it says, if you don't hunt, you don't eat. And that's because the thing that Hunt, Jeff, believe it or not, actually is an acronym for myself. And so H is hold yourself accountable. Even when life beats you up, man, H and Hunt is hold yourself accountable. U is understand the process. And you know what? This season isn't always going to be this way. You got to realize that there's going to be things in life that are going to get you different ways, but understand the process of where it is you want to do. We just talked about the process of a fundraising auction.
Right.
We talked about the process of an auto auction, getting a job and all that stuff. You have to understand the process to get anywhere. That's the U. The N is never freaking surrender, which I've been saying this whole time. You know what? Hope in yourself, believe in yourself, pray about it.
Right.
And the last one on the T, thankful always, man. Be grateful for what you have. You are not promised tomorrow.
No, you're not.
You're not even promised that. This could be our last conversation.
It could be.
Die in a plane crash,
or
you could be like, wow, me and Kevin are just having a conversation.
That's the truth, and that's really the truth. And you know, the thing is number one, I want to make myself, you know, show everybody that, hey, he did a great job for the sale. But number two, when you got people like Scott Goodhue going to bat and saying, hey, I can't do it, but this man will do the job for you. I gotta represent that too. I gotta live up to what Scott told her. You know, Betty's known me for a long time, don't get me wrong. But still, at the same sense, Betty didn't call me at first. She called Scott. And she knew that Scott did it, and he's a world champion, and that's the man that she wanted. And you know, to be able to have to live up to that, and to be able to go to Scott and say, "Man, thank you very much. We did a great job, and it wouldn't have been. I wouldn't have been able to do it without you. So thank you. You know, I want to live up and make a good word for Scott too. Is what I want to do. You know, and hey, next year if Betty calls and she calls me, I'm going to tell her, hey, you got to call Scott first, man. You called him first of all, and that's Scott's deal. I mean, Scott just used me for a fill-in. I'll be more than happy to do it if he doesn't want it, but you have to call him first and offer the job to him, because I'm not that guy. That's the reason why I didn't go down to Colorado Springs. That's the reason why I didn't go to Hayes, Kansas, because everybody had jobs there, and I wasn't going to step on anybody's toes, man. And I made that motto for myself a long time ago when I was getting into this business. I just wasn't going to step on people's toes and go in there and say, "Hey, I can do the job, and I can do it for $200 cheaper," or I can go in there and say, "I know you're paying him $1,500 or whatever. I'll do it for $500." And I can't do as great as him, but I can get the job done. I'm not that guy. I'm not that guy in any shape, any form, and I will never step. I wouldn't step if you called me and asked me to do a sale, and when I got done with the sale and they come up and they said, "Oh my God, you did a fantastic job. We want you next year." The first thing I'd tell them is, "Thank you very much, but you need to call Kevin if you want somebody to do the auction next year, because this is Kevin's gig. You called him first, and I will not take a job from Kevin unless Kevin turns it down and says, no, you go ahead and do it. That's fine. And then I'll jump in and do it. But I'm not going to undercut anybody, man. I'm just not going to do that. Not at all."
Well, you know, you can't get any better than a Scott Goodhue recommending you for somewhere. I always say, and I've told Scott this to him personally, I bet I could go to Alaska and say, and Scott gets off a plane at an auto auction, and there might not be somebody that knows Scott there, although Scott's world known. I mean, he's one of 30 people on the entire planet that's won the championship. I'll tell you what, you stick him on a mic at an auto auction, and guess what? You're going to know who Scott Goodhue is pretty damn quick. You're going to know real fast who this guy is.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, the guy's freaking master. And you know what? And we're blessed to have these people in our family. And I mean that. I'd take a bullet for the guy. Like he'd probably call me, tell me he's in freaking Texas and he's in a jam stuck on a highway. I'll get on an airplane, just come and get the guy. I mean, we're all brothers from another mother. But what you just described, though, in this business where that thing kind of happens and you would never do that, we do know it's kind of a bit of a wolf pack.
It is.
And, you know, there are alpha males and beta males, and people smell blood, and guess what they want to do? They some guys in that pack, they might be 4 seats back, are smelling blood. And so this is a difficult business like that, you know, and people that you really love and trust and unfortunately sometimes aren't the people that you thought they were. Yeah. And then other people you weren't really sure about become like like your best, not only your best friend, but like a family member.
Right.
And I love this business so much, you know, like people say, what do they say? Find a job you love, Jeff, never work a day in your life. Yeah. And I think
guaranteed.
A lot A lot of stuff. And Jeff, I was talking to Scott one time about that too. He always has some, very motivational things to say. But
Right.
Scott said this, and that was, I was like, Scott, man, don't you ever want to take vacation and stuff? And he does. But he goes, you know what, Kevin? He told me this multiple times. He says, the money's good, but the work is better. Like meaning, he just loves doing his job.
Yeah,
And I think
exactly.
how many people in this world sadly don't. And my wife at the time, I remember going to my son, and this might be offensive, so don't take offense to it, please, anybody. But I remember my son, he was about 8 years old, and I was in Walmart, and there was a cashier here, and I said, Brian, I bet that cashier didn't say when they were 5 years old, when I grow up, I want to be a cashier at Walmart.
Right.
Now, I'm not saying that we don't have to go there or be there or God puts us there in an ordained time for something. But there was probably some goal or dream they had. And many people don't get to do that. I feel literally like God called me to do this job. And how I know it, I mean, I literally fasted for an entire week, never knew this profession. And then you're telling me a guy appears in front of me and tells me about a profession I'd never heard of.
Yeah.
And now here I am doing it. Like, I can't think of any other reason I would be that. Literally fast for a week, and then all of a sudden there's a guy in front of you talking about a profession you'd never heard of before.
Sure.
And I didn't know what I was going to do with myself. Like, it's things like that I just feel like we're ordained by somebody bigger than myself.
Right. Well, you're right there, man. But get from what I said though, but at the final end, when it's your time to go, maybe I didn't get all the jobs I should have got because I wasn't that wolf. But man, I gotta prove myself to a higher power someday, and I can always say, you know what, I was always faithful to my friends. I never screwed anybody over. I always did a good job, and I worked in my heart out. Maybe I didn't get the big paying jobs or whatever, but at the end of the day, I can still go to bed at night and say, I never screwed anybody over that had a job, and I never went in and undercut them or anything. And I know you're the same way, man. And that's a good thing to be able to say at the end of your run, that hey, man, that's what I want to be remembered by. Is this is what it is, and that's
Yeah,
me.
I learned a lot of that from people like Kenny Paradise, man, who's just, he's always worked the sale that he's worked. He's never done wrong by nobody. He's always treated people right and fair. Going out to eat for lunch with him for years, man. I'll tell you what, I've had some troubling times in my life through COVID, through a divorce, through pain and sorrow. And that man has been there for all of it with all his wisdom, his kindness, generosity, and so much. And having people like that and just all kinds of things like that, man. I mean, just has taught me what you just described, which is, do right by others, and I mean, that's the golden rule, and by the way, when people say that, where does golden rule come from? No pun, not to get biblical on anybody, but it came from the Bible. So
Yeah, it
go
did.
figure that.
Guaranteed, man.
Anyway,
Guaranteed. And hey, we even have Mr. Goodhue in the room here. Hello, Scotty. I hope you're
Hello.
feeling good. Scotty was. I've never. I mean, he's a trooper, man. I've seen him on his deathbed, but today, man, I never seen him so sick in his life, man. He was just down, and I think he kind of let Vaughn run the rest of his lane today, and everybody was asking where he was at. But man, I hope you're feeling better, my brother. I know you're down in Houston right now. I hope you're doing better and feeling good. So that I know you got a busy day tomorrow, and no friends or enemies, and well, no friends down there, just a lot of enemies. So, and then Texas Rich is in here. Hey, buddy, how are you? But yeah, no, dude, I really appreciate you, Kevin. I appreciate everything that you do. I will take that to I will get a hold of Betty tomorrow and get some of those the list of those items and stuff. But it's been so long since I've done one. The last time I did one, I was selling balloons for Scott, and Scott knows what I'm talking about. So it marred me for life, good you. It really did. It marred me for life is what it did. But
Well, hey, know this. Yeah, and I know you're doing this like a little kind of radio style program. Jeff, know this, man. call me up. I will be a representative of you. I work with Jeff. Jeff's doing the auction. I'm just here to help you get auction items. After this thing we're doing here online, if you want to talk to me, man, I'll give you all the principles, where to get live auction items, consignment items, how to get stuff free, like get Southwest Airline tickets, how you can get Frontier Airline tickets, how you can get signed jerseys and stuff. Like, there's a lot of places you can get a lot of free items for this event. I know it's coming up and you're like, Kev, I don't have enough time, but there's still enough time to maybe at least get it firing on the right cylinders. And I can at least give you some free helpful advice to get this event as successful as we can. And then, it's like a stew. We're going to put a little seasoning in it this time, a little pepper, and it's going to taste a little better. But next year, let's add a little more potato and a little more carrot, because it's still not tasting right. So after this event, you want to have a meeting with them and say, hey, look, Jeff, you did a great job. Make sure you get that meeting. And then tell them, I want to talk to you about how next year can be even better. If you don't get that, the likelihood is you're not going to get the event at all. Right. And that's really the game plan. You got it. The only way to get these fundraising events back, or any client, whether you're in real estate or anything else, is you got to do follow-ups. If you don't do that follow-up immediately, right when you get in that check with that honeymoon phase, that first week, you're out, brother. Like, you got to get that contract out immediately. And so that's really it. But remember, if you don't hunt in your life, you don't freaking eat, brother.
That's right.
You don't hunt, you don't eat. And guess what? Nobody's coming to save you. You just got to hold yourself accountable. You got to understand the process. And you know what? Like I said on that tee, you got to be thankful for what you already have. Nobody likes a negative bastard. So go out there, be thankful, be grateful what you have, because you woke up, and guess what? That's more than somebody else got to do today.
That's the truth.
And so you might not be where you're at. I might have been. There were times when I didn't have the jobs I had, and I'm going to be real with you, Jeff, right now. Just be real. I watched guys, kids, relatives get jobs where, in my mind, mentally, I was not in the right place, thinking, man, why didn't I get that? Right? Why didn't I get that spot? And you know what? I just wasn't even thankful for the fact that I had a car with gasoline in it, and I drove to the auction.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, why not be grateful? I told you, I have a friend who just died of ALS, and I know this call's got to end, but ALS, Lou Gehrig's disease. And my buddy, I remember bitching to him on the phone that I was running and I tripped over this dog's leash. And he was in a wheelchair.
Right.
And you know what he said to me? He's like, wow, you fell and you got back up? Oh, man, I remember that.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking to myself, this guy can't even get out of a wheelchair, and I'm complaining that he fell down, Like, there's so much to be grateful for, man. You might not be where you're at, but have an attitude of gratitude. That's going to get you somewhere in life. Hold yourself freaking accountable. Nobody's coming to save your butt. Understand the process of whatever it is you're going to want to do in your life, and you'll be successful, whether that's fundraising events, auto auctions, or relationships. You got to understand the process of what you're going to get yourself involved in here if you're going to get married. Let me tell you, I've been down that road. You got to understand the process.
That's another story. That's another hour program.
Yeah, and you got to hold yourself accountable, regardless of it. You can't blame anybody else.
All right, Kevin Rutter, well, I appreciate you, man. I love you to death, like a brother, man. I'd do anything in the world for you. And I'll see you again on Tuesday. I hope your auctions go good for you. You got one this weekend?
Yep, I got two this weekend.
Well, good, man.
So I got one. I got one on Saturday and Sunday. That's why I mentioned Friday. I don't have anything going on Friday. So if you need help there, give me a yell. But God bless everybody. And man, of course, I love you, man. Never forget what you did for me there. And of course, Scott, Kenny, the Troyers, Josh White, everybody, man. Like, I just would not be where I am without somebody. But then, you know what? Stop and think of yourself and be grateful for all those people. And if they're still alive today, I challenge you to call them, whether it's your mom, your dad, you don't have tomorrow, maybe with them. Call somebody up that changed your life. If I could just tell you anything, and I know we're going to end this, call somebody. Think about that for a minute. Who helped me? Call them up, send them a text message, and just say, hey, thanks.
That's the truth.
I don't know why.
All right, buddy. Well, I'll talk to you later, man. You have a good one. Thanks for being on the show. I think this was a good interview. I think you might have surpassed Chris. Chris was holding the candle, but it was definitely a good one. And Scott and I both knew that you were going to be a good interview. So thank you for taking the time. Be safe out there, and I'll talk to you soon, okay?
Yep. If you don't hunt, you don't eat. Take care, man. See ya.
All right, brother. Bye-bye. All right, guys. We'll be back here in just a minute with Deadbird. I really appreciate Kevin Rutter taking time to get on the show and being on the show. he is definitely a phenomena of words and wisdom right there for sure. And he does a great job. So we're going to do our sponsor list. We're going to be calling Deadbird here at about 7:15, and we'll be right back here on Pedal to the Metal, Motors and Music right here. We'll be back after this word from our sponsors. Come on, sponsors.
Let's take a look at our new partner, 6ix9ine Graphics and Design, a small design and marketing company, big on personalized service. They work closely with you to get your business noticed, with graphics that stand out and grab attention. 6ix9ine Graphics and Design specializes in stickers, decals, and graphics for your hot rods, custom projects, so business marketing. They also offer logo design, brochure signs, business cards, banners, custom apparel, vehicle graphics, and much more. Remember, that's 6ix9ine Graphics and Design. Visit 6ix9design.com or find them on Instagram at 6ix9design. Need to pick me up to start your day. There's a place in Parker that'll get you going. Rise and Grind Coffee has bold espresso, strong coffee, smooth lattes, plus chai teas and cold. Smoothies, regular or decaf, whatever you're in the mood for. Hungry, grab a hot breakfast burrito or a fresh muffin, quick, simple, and ready to roll. Got something coming up, any event or party you're planning, they've got a portable coffee cart that brings the coffee right to you. Fresh drinks served on site. Local spot, good coffee, good people. Rise and Grind Coffee, fueling your day, one cup at a time.
And car show season kicks off this weekend on Sunday, the 26th of April at the Rise and Grind Coffee House. It starts at 9 o'clock, runs till about 12, and then they're going to have another one on June 7th, same start time, 9 to 12. And then on July 12th, it's their 4-year anniversary party. That starts at 10 a.m. to 1 p.m., and make sure you stop by. They usually have free food and stuff like that. It's going to be a great time. And then they come in at August 23rd, September 27th, and October 25th is the last one of the year. But this year we'll have some music. We'll be doing all kinds of different things for them. They're located at 475 Singing Hills Road in Parker, Colorado. Make sure you guys, if you're doing something on Sunday and you just want to get that car out one more time, make this one an event, because it's such a cool event, man. It really is. So, all right, well, let's try to get a hold of our buddy here, Mr. Deadbird. He is a local artist here in Denver, Colorado, in Parker, Colorado, and he plays drums for Adam Creech with the Adam Experience. And, we had him on here, we had him on with all the band members here probably 2 months ago, maybe something like that. In fact, they were the first group to come in on the music portion of the show. And Deadbird asked if he could be on the show, and we talked, and I told him to, whenever you're ready, let me know. And he finally got a hold of me and said, hey, man, I think I'm ready to do this. So we got him on tonight, guys. And don't forget now, Rod Wood will not be on the show on the 26th due to health reasons. It'll just be Trent Holsworth, and we might do some calling or something like that for somebody else. So Let's see here. We'll get a hold of Dead Bird here. Give him a call here. It's definitely working.
Hello?
Dude, what's up?
Hey Jeff, how you doing, man?
You know what? Just hanging out. Just got done with our. We're doing a whole month of young gun auctioneers. I'm an auctioneer, of course, in the business here in Colorado, and we were featuring the young guns of the auctioneering world here in the Colorado area and in Texas, and we just got done with a really good interview and everything. So yeah, it's been fun, and now we haven't had very many. I've offered to a lot of people, man, and I don't know. They can get up at a Friday night at the on stage, in front of people and sing their songs, but they're like afraid to get on the show and talk about their music and talk about why they created this song and different things like that. So I haven't had a very good luck, and it's too bad because this ain't a huge platform, but it could be one day, and
Yeah.
somebody needs to get on, man. It really is. I mean, I wish they'd get on and use it more, but hey, all I can do is offer, correct?
Yeah, well, honestly, it's pretty scary. Not gonna lie.
Well, you know
Right.
what? I try to take that scariness out of the equation, man. I mean, I try to tell everybody it's just like me and you sitting down and having a cup of coffee together or a beer together, man, and just bullshitting. That's all it is, But some people just can't get past the deal of talking. I guess I don't know what it is, but I guess I
Yeah,
was
man.
born with the gift to be able to do something like that.
You're right. I wish I should have got a beer before this interview. Not gonna lie. I just thought about it.
Well, go get one,
That's not
man.
a
We can we
that's
can
not a
sit here
bad
and
idea.
we can sit here and tap dance while you go get a beer and have one. And I don't have a. I usually have an R&R reserve tonight, but I just got plain water tonight. So I usually enjoying a adult beverage while I'm enjoying the conversation and stuff like that. So if you want to go get yourself one, you're more than welcome, man. I don't care. That's fine with me.
Oh no, I'm good, man. I appreciate you
All
though.
right. So, dude, you've been in the music business since a young person, correct?
Yeah, I've been doing this since as long as I can remember.
Now, if I can remember the interview correctly, wasn't your father in the music industry too? I mean, in the business too. He did a little bit of playing guitars, or am I wrong on saying that?
Nah, he's the old school punk drummer.
That's what I thought. That's what I
Yeah,
thought.
yeah.
So,
And that's where I get everything from.
what was it like growing up with a father that was a drummer for a punk band?
It was awesome. It was literally nothing but cool.
Right.
Because he wasn't like a professional. You know,
Uh-huh.
he was a dad first,
Uh-huh.
but he would take me to shows all the time, and he would bring his drum set home, and he would invite me, and he would bring me and my sister to band practice all the time. So I just got to like live in that world growing
Right.
up, and it was awesome.
Right. Now, did you know at a young age that you were going to become a drummer? I mean, that's what you wanted to do?
Yeah, it was kind of just given to me. It wasn't. In a lot of ways, it wasn't a decision I really got to make.
Uh-huh.
It was
What
just like, yeah, I'll be a drummer, obviously.
yeah, was it easy for you to pick up? I mean, you know, there's people out there that are prodigies and stuff and they can just play anything. And then there's people that can pick up a guitar and with a few lessons they got, okay, I got this down and I can jam with people and have a good time. Was that how you were with being in the drumming business?
No, I'm not a prodigy at all. I had to earn everything
Huh.
I've gotten.
Well, you know, in a way, does that not make you appreciate the craft more than being that prodigy? Where hey man, I don't know how there's some kind of force by God that I can play this drums without any lessons. But doesn't it make you appreciate it more if you picked up two sticks and says I really don't know how to do this, and then one day you're jamming in a band and people are liking the
Yeah.
groove?
Yeah, and I'm playing in all these bands, and I'm starting to make a little bit of money here and there, and it feels a lot better because I'm like I actually like genuinely earned it. Because it's there's one piece of it that's like learning the drums, but then there's also like learning like drummer etiquette, like how to set up on stage and how to practice like efficiently, like in a good way, and like how to book gigs. And there's like so much more to it than just being good at the drums,
Right.
which is and like that there's like this whole world of like networking and working with people that and as you get better at that, you also get better at drums. So like those two things are like kind of connected.
Right. Right. Well, there are some accomplished musicians in the state of Colorado. Even in the Parker area, the surrounding areas where you guys go do these live, Friday nights where you open mic shows and stuff like that. There are some
Hmm.
some great entertainers out there, man, and it's fun to be able to go to these open mics and share your craft with everybody, and then have somebody say, "Hey, dude, I have a gig next weekend and I need a drummer. Can you help me out?"
Yeah,
And go from there. That makes you feel good.
and that's exactly how it happens. I sometimes I wish I had more control over like where I got gigs and who I networked with, but it's always just like this. It's always just like this strange experience where it just kind of opens up in front of me,
Right.
and you just have to kind of say yes to everything, and you got to say yes to things that you're not even like super stoked about. Because like I met Adam at the open mic, and it was totally random, and he saw I played the castanets, and he's like, well, can you play drums? And I was like, yeah. So I played drums for them here and there, and then he offered me to come play another gig, and then he had to go out of town to do firefighting stuff,
Uh
because he's a
huh.
firefighter.
Right.
And then I just like never left the band, and I'm just like part of the band, and it was nothing that I had like any control over. All I did was just say yes over and over.
Right. Well, the thing is I mean, you have some remarkable guys that you would never figure would be musicians. I mean, look at Frenchie. He's a big, tall man. And you never
Hmm.
figure Frenchie to be a musician. And Paul, you never look at Paul. You never think Paul would be a guitarist and play in a band and stuff like that. And here you guys are jamming and well respected in the business. And that's got to just make you guys feel good.
Yeah, because we go to band practice. We're just pals. We're just hanging out. It's great. It's just a good time.
Yeah. I got a chance to finally tour Paul's the studio where you guys practice. That
Oh, really?
is that is yeah, because Paul done a couple of he brought a couple of my guitars back from the dead, and
Okay.
so he worked on my Ibanez, and then he worked on my Fender, and got them both going, and hooked me up with some good strings and stuff, and I wished the lessons were going as good as the experience with Paul was, because I've got a finger that's got arthritis in it, and it doesn't want to bend to get
Mm.
certain notes, and I don't know what to do, man. I don't know if I have Paul shave the neck on one of my guitars and where it's thinner, where I can get it easier. I don't know what to do, but I'm just having a real trouble. And I've really tried. I really have tried, man, but I just can't get that one finger, and it's that pointing finger to do what I want it to do. And I don't know, maybe I just need to practice more.
Or get creative and find a different way to do it. You're just gonna have to find your own path.
you know that's the truth is, but my path is like being a jet pilot. Okay, you're sitting in the seat of in the plane, now fly it. Well, I don't even know how to run it. So I don't even know how to do an A chord or anything like that. Let alone sit there and try to learn a different path. And I have thought of that. I thought about, well, I've got three other fingers, maybe I can make them do something. And then they freeze up and they're like, I don't even know what you're doing. What are you doing here, man? And then I put it up and put it in the case, and then I forget about it, and then I bring it out again. So maybe someday, but you know what? I'll never be that guy that'll get up on stage and perform in front of anybody. If I learn to play, It'll be for my own enjoyment, and that's it. I mean, my enjoyment is the music that I make, and that's about as best as I'm ever going to get, I think.
Yeah, maybe you just got to play the drums then.
Well, you know what? That's not. Let's see here, because I mean, I've gotten some trophies for air drums doing on the show, so
Oh yeah.
maybe the drum pat. But you know what? My father-in-law lives in the basement downstairs here, and I don't think he'd want me playing the drums. And I know
No,
my
he's not.
wife would be out on that, so I guess the only thing is to get some that I can have headphones on and play them that way, huh?
Well, you know what? And that's why I play guitar and bass guitar and like produce and make all these other instruments literally because I got the police called on me because I was playing drums and I
Really?
live in apartments. So I'm like, I have to play music. So
Right.
then I took a break and like went off into this other stuff. My friends come up, friends that I met here in Denver. They're like, "We didn't know you play the drums." I'm like, "Yeah, I'm a drummer,
Right.
like number one, but all this stuff is just like I gotta keep making music. I just can't play the drums as much as I'd like."
Sure, sure. Yeah. So what do you do when you go to your neighbors and say, "Hey, can you just give me an hour to practice, please?" You know, or what do you do, man, when you want to play the drums?
I just say yeah when they tell me to stop, and I say sorry. But what's good, what's been working out for me, because like anybody who's listening, I'm telling you right now, open mics are your ticket in.
Sure,
Like they seem weird and lame sometimes, but like keep going to them. But like as far as playing drums, I'm playing drums more now than I've ever played. With this band, I got another band called Bug Francis. We just played our first gig. We're so good. This band is amazing. But like I finally get to go to places. I got like this practice pad drum kit in my apartment here,
uh-huh.
which is fine. You know, it gets the job done, but it's not super like it's not the same. You know.
Right. Yeah, well, and how can it be? You know, I mean, I had a chance to buy a drum set from a guy that was the chef at the auction. He was selling a bunch of his stuff, and I was just interested in the memorabilia, and I mean, we were down to like $200 for the drum set with cymbals and everything,
Oh
and
yeah.
and I just was like, I don't think so, man, because I don't have nowhere to play. I'd have to keep him out in the shop, and it's too cold in the wintertime. I had more excuses why not to do it than to do it. So, like my last guest said, if you don't hunt, you don't eat. So, yeah, I guess if I don't play the drums, learn to play the drums. I don't play the drums, right?
Yeah, and it was like frustrating for years, like not being able to play the drums the way I want to, and like I just stuck with it, and like I finally found a path to like where I get to play the drums like all the time. So
Sure,
it's just persistence really, and
right.
it's I'm not even like like successful or famous. I'm just like playing the drums all the time, and
Doing what you love.
it's just like magical. Yeah.
Yeah. You know, let's see here. Who I know the answer, but everybody else doesn't. But who was a big band in your day that you just idolized and it really kind of gave you even stronger passion than what your dad did to play drums and stuff?
Or should we say it together?
Yeah, you want to do it? We
Three,
can.
two,
2, 1,
one,
rush.
rush. That's right.
Yeah, you know what? I have to say that I like Rush too, and I'm not saying that because you're on the show or anything like that. But I can remember all the albums that come out and stuff, and just I love their music. They had such a great sound, and I loved to snow ski to Rush. I used to love to ski the trees, and when listening
Mm.
to Rush on my headphones, man, I don't know what it was, that or the Moody Blues. Those two bands
Oh,
were my snow skiing in the trees kind of deal, man. They really were, man. I don't
yeah.
know why, but they just were. But Rush is an amazing band. They really are. Did you ever see them live?
Yeah, I saw him live 4 times,
Wow, that's
which I'm
amazing.
very fortunate. Before Neil Peart passed away, and I saw them at the Snakes and Arrows tour. And oh, I can't remember the tours. There was the 30th, I think, yeah, the 40th anniversary tour, and the last one in Denver when they were one in Phoenix, one in Denver, one in Albuquerque,
Yeah.
and no, actually, I only saw them 3 times, I guess. Oh, it
Wow.
feels like 4 times.
Yeah.
But yeah, they put on an amazing show. They played Jacob's Ladder, which is one song that they never play live. And yeah, I Rush. My dad was a big fan of Rush, so I also just like my dad.
Right.
So like me and my dad just like connected over Rush.
Right. Did your dad ever go with you to any of the concerts?
Yeah, all three of them.
Oh, that's awesome. That's a moment right there that you'll never forget, man. Just to go in and sharing a passion that you guys have with music, and then sharing the passion of a band that you love, and going together on those trips, man. That's something that you'll never forget, bro.
Yeah, and I like how like complicated their music is. Like it's okay for nerdy people to make music. You know what I mean? For just like regular people,
Right.
because like I get caught up in my head because I'm like grinding away and I'm making a song and I'm like it's not popular enough. You know, it's not like Justin Bieber. It's not
Right.
like that big stuff. And then I look back at Rush and I'm like, it's okay. Like I can just make whatever I want to make.
Yeah, guaranteed, guaranteed. What is the one song you heard out of all the Rush songs that you thought, damn, this song, this is the song that the Cadillac of the band right here.
I don't know, man. That's a tough one. I'm gonna say their album "Moving Pictures" is the one I've
Yeah,
listened to more than anyone.
yeah.
But like one that I've been listening to a lot is "Spirit of Radio."
That's a
That
good
intro
one,
kind of
bro.
just
That's a
blows my
good one.
mind. Yeah,
That's a real good one, man. It's got the to me it's got the music that I really enjoyed a lot. Uh, on that album and stuff. But that's what it is. And hey, we have our favorite musicians and our favorite bands, and that's just the way it is, man. And it makes the world go round, right?
yeah, that's what it's all about, man.
Yeah,
And if I can share that much joy that Rush has shared with me to any other people, that's the goal.
sure, sure. All
You
right,
know.
well, let's talk about your music, man.
Okay.
Let's get into your stuff. I mean, you started writing when you were young. Is that when you started writing?
Yeah. Let's see. Okay. First song I like made that I'm like proud of. Like I've made a lot of songs here and there
Or huh?
when I was a kid, but I was 19 years old when I wrote Treehouse, and that's on my Murder Turkey album on Spotify.
Uh huh.
So like I'm 32 now, so um that's 13 years, right?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh,
So I've been doing this for a long time, and I've written songs before that, when I was even younger, but I don't have the numbers for those.
right. So sitting down, I mean, it's kind of like with me. I get something in my brain, maybe in a dream, and I wake up and I write it down on a piece of paper, and I know the next morning I gotta make some kind of a song out of what I scribbled. Sometimes I don't know what I scribbled, but how do you get your inspiration for your songs?
So like when I each song I make, I want it to be like different. Like that's like the process that I go through because I know a lot of artists like they it feels like they like remake the same song over and over again, and that's
Sure.
like the challenge that I'm stuck with. So each time I come up with a new song, a lot of the times I come up with like a new like challenge. Like I want to make a rock song, or I want to make an EDM song, or I want to make a country song, or I want to make a disco song. And so I put like that basically in my head. And sometimes the song takes like maybe a year or two to actually finish, and sometimes it comes out pretty quick. And that's like a big starting point for me. But other times I sit down to make a song and there's no challenge or real idea, and it just literally just falls out of the sky,
Right.
and I'm just gifted a song that I just think is amazing. So
Yeah.
those are like my two processes.
Well, and that happens with me too. I mean, I'll see something like I said wrote on a piece of paper, and I won't have any idea. And by the time I'm done, when I sit there and I write and I do this and I do that, I'm thinking, wow, this might be an awesome song here. I'm really not sure. And then I'm always amazed, of course, what the AI program does for it, because it'll fill in like this doesn't really sound good here, Roller. We need to add this instead, or and it kind of directs
Yeah.
me. And so I can't say that I write it 100%, but I can say I'm 65%, maybe something like that, 70% maybe of it's my lyrics, and I just enjoy doing it, and it is fun when it comes out as something that really that people like and like to listen to, you know.
Yeah, that's I've been thinking about that, the AI music. I'm thinking about making my own AI song. I haven't listened to yours yet. I gotta listen to yours. But I've been listening to a lot of AI music. I really like it. It's really good.
Dude, I mean, I was at Paul's house. I want to get my first guitar done, and we talked about it. And I told Paul, I said, he goes, so Rolla, you know how he is with that New York accent, and he
Uh-huh.
said, tell me about this AI. So I told him, I said, Paul, I can make a song right here about you playing music and building golf clubs, and I did.
Yeah,
And I
yeah.
said, now watch what this does. Now, I said, I'm not writing the lyrics down on this one. I think AI, and I really didn't at the time know that if AI could help me do this or not. And sure enough, it did. I asked, and I said, I need to make a song about Paul. Paul's from New York. He builds golf clubs. He also is a musician. He specializes in the keyboards. And I gave it some really in-depth information about Paul and stuff. And I said, can you make me some kind of a song to this? And it's, oh, yeah, Roller, absolutely. And I pushed the button and I told it what instrumentation, and Paul kind of helped me. And I said, we want it in 4/4 time. I said, we like it in the key of G or whatever. I think it was G. Anyway, I said, I want it in, let's put it in about 80, 85 to 90 beats per minute, and just kind of just went through all that. And I said, in the instrumentation, I want a lead guitar electric, I want a stand-up bass, I want a full drum set, and I just kind of built all the instrumentation, and I pushed the button and it made Paul a song, and Paul just went, wow. I can't
Yeah,
I
in
can't
just a
believe
moment, yeah.
that you made that song. And I said, well, I said it just does it. I said, I don't know how it does it, but it does, and it's just I'm more impressed of what the AI program does. So if you're thinking about it, I would definitely tell you, because the guy that was on my show before you came on, he got me started in this music deal and told me about this. The program I use is Suno, and man, it's amazing, and it's Suno. And if you do the free plan, you don't own any of your songs. Suno owns it. But
Oh, okay.
if you do the plan number 2 and not the pro plan, you own the rights to your songs. You own all that stuff, man. And
Oh, okay.
so it's amazing. How the because I did the legalities of it. I wanted, if I was going to create music, I wanted to be able to own the music. I didn't want nobody else to own it. And I got on to Chat GTP and talked with, put some questions into chat, and then I asked a lady, a friend of mine that's in Nashville, Karen Paparelli. She is a lawyer for musicians, and I said, Karen, I'm writing these lyrics and stuff like this, and I said, if I write the lyrics and put in the instrumentation and all that, set up the production, uh, would I own this song? Could I say that the song is mine? And she said the song is definitely yours, because of the fact is that you created it. You didn't tell the program, hey, I want you to write me a song about Texas. And then
Hmm.
it wrote a song about Texas, and then you claim it as yours. So anyway, that's what I recommend. And of course, I'm not a professional, but I've been around that end of it. If you have any questions, make sure that you get a hold of me, and I'll help you out as much as I can, for sure. So
Yeah, maybe I will.
let's talk about a song that you wrote here, and just tell us the reasoning for the song before we play it, and tell us how you come up with the idea. And this song is called "Nasty Little Centipede."
Oh yeah, it's just a song about bugs. Literally just a song about bugs. Okay, so like think about how like we're humans and we're intelligent and we have insecurities and we have to go to work and we have to think about stuff and we have to manage relationships and it can be kind of a burden, but think about like a bug, how it just survives and
Right,
it just lives off instinct and it doesn't like think about the future. You know what I mean?
right.
And it's just kind of like built around that. So I started with that kind of idea. and I
Uh-huh.
asked a bunch of friends. I'm like, what do bugs have that we don't have?
Uh-huh.
And they're like inner peace and like community, like a community like from bees and ants have a community and they like work together really well.
Right.
And humans maybe sometimes have a hard time doing that, like when they have like a common goal. And then like just like and then you just grind away at that. Okay, so there's a part where I scream nasty little centipede. And when
Uh-huh.
I'm on stage, I like to have moments in my songs where the audience can be involved.
Uh-huh.
So I finished the whole song and I'm listening to it. I'm like, oh, there's no chant. So it took me a second. I was like, nasty little centipede. And then I put it in that spot. And then, you know, it just showed up at the end of the song.
Uh-huh.
And I was like, perfect. And then I'll go play that song live. I'll put on a little bug costume. And when that moment happens, when it's time to scream,
Uh-huh.
nasty little centipede, everyone screams it with me. So if you know the song, you got to yell it with me, or else it's an awkward thing to sing that song when
Right.
nobody screams with me.
And how's the response from the audience when you first play this for people that's never heard it?
The first two times they don't know where nasty centipede is, but
Uh-huh.
by the third time they got it down.
Uh-huh.
It's not that difficult. And I put on my hand. I'm like, hey guys, focus up. I need you to yell with me
There you go, man.
because I'm standing up there with fairy wings, bug bug glasses, and like a headpiece. And I'm like, hey, I already look like an idiot. You can scream with me.
Well, dude, you've animated your song. You know what I mean? I mean,
Yeah.
you're in full costume and everything. Well, I'll tell you what, we're gonna play it now. If you want to go get that beer, would be a good time to go do that. And we'll go ahead and play "Nasty Little Centipede." We'll be right back here on Pedal to the Metal, Motors and Music.
You can pay me in nectar. I live in the trees. I don't need money. I work with my family to keep our loving queen fed and happy. To keep our loving queen fed and happy. Slimy little worms living under the grass. They all get together when the cold winter comes. I get up early, my work is never done. A life of leisure second to none. A life of leisure second to none. I see a little bug and I stomp it to death. But if I had my chance to live like them, I would take it. Nasty little centipede. I would take a life under the mud, 'cause being small and dumb sounds fun. The truth is, I'd like to take a break from putting pressure on myself and making dumb mistakes. I want to balance out the ecosystem, keep the world alive. A satisfying life of fighting to survive. A satisfying life of fighting to survive. A tiny dung beetle pushing poop up the hill probably feels the same as always paying my bills. A lovely black widow eating bugs from a web. I'm not alive when I'm laying in bed. I love my safety, but it makes me feel dead. 'Cause I see a little spider and I send her outdoors. But if I had my chance to live like her, I would take it. Nasty little centipede. I would take a life under the mud, 'cause being small and dumb sounds fun. I would take it. Nasty little centipede. I would take a life under the mud, 'cause being small and dumb sounds fun. A life of leisure is second to none.
There you go, "Nasty Little Centipede" right there.
All right.
So now that I've heard the creation of the song and what it's really all about, because when I first heard it, I was like, wow, that's different. That's definitely different, man. And but now that you tell me the story, the backstory of the creation of the song and the reason, it makes a lot more sense, to me anyway. So that's pretty good, man. Now, when did you write that song?
I wrote that song maybe more than a year ago.
Really?
I think. I can't remember. No, no, not a year. Maybe like 8 or 9 months or something like that.
Uh-huh. Wow.
Yeah,
Well,
that was one of those fortunate songs. It took a little while, but like overall, I think that song came out pretty quickly. I was pretty stoked on that one.
right. And I mean, you definitely, I mean, the song was like just a little over 2 minutes. You definitely made it radio friendly. I mean, it could be played on a radio station or something like that. Do you get a chance to play your music when you're with Adam and them guys?
I do. Yeah, we have a show at the Stagecoach this Saturday,
Uh huh.
and we got ourselves booked a 4 hour show,
Right.
which is so long. So I'm gonna do like a half hour of Deadbird stuff. If you want to come by, I'll do. If anybody wants to come by, I'll do the bug song for you.
Cool, man. Cool. That's that might be something to look for. Plus, it'd be just good to see all you guys again, man, and just sit down and listen to some music, man. That's the thing. Is it just going to be you guys, or is it going to be somebody else in there with you?
No, it's just gonna be us this time.
Awesome. That's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool. Yeah, with with the closing of God, I forget the name of it. The Goose. That's terrible, man. I mean, that was such a
Oh
great
yeah.
venue. The stage was phenomenal. I mean, you walk in there and the building is got this massive stage on it, and it's just so big and open inside. And what a great venue to play out of, right?
Yeah, yeah, and that's where I met those guys, and I was really intimidated because you go to an open mic and you kind of have like, expectations, but it's like a stage, like a for real stage. It's
It is.
gigantic. I
Yeah.
was shaking.
Yeah, I mean it gives you an eerie feeling as a non-musician to even walk by the stage, just to know that I mean you're up there 3 feet, 4 feet you're up there 4 feet at least off the ground, looking out over a big, huge room, and full lighting set and all that. It's even got a little. I think there's a little dressing room off to the side. Correct?
Yeah, yeah, and I would go over there every couple of weeks with those guys and set up my drums and play with them, and I would like jam with all these other bands, and Billy Wills would come up and I jam with him. So yeah, I miss it a lot. My prayers go out to Chris, man.
Yeah, and he was
I hope he's
such a
gonna be okay.
phenomenal dude, man. I
Yeah,
wish
he
him the
is.
very best. I send prayers out to him all the time, and
Mm.
to give up something that was really pretty popular, man. It was. I mean, sometimes you go by there and there'd be tour buses parked out in front, man, of some kind of a band that he had there. It was a cool venue, man. It was well known, and he put on one hell of a car show, man. I mean, we were very blessed to be able to go there and have a car show at that place.
I know, man. That place was cool, but if it lasted forever, it wouldn't be special.
This is true. This is true. Hopefully, somebody picks it up and maybe continues with it, because it's definitely got the vibe, man, and it's definitely got the the feeling when you go in there, even outside. I mean, in the summertime, people are outside listening to the music and stuff. It's really a cool place, and I hope that it reopens again someday. And it would be nice if he come back and opened it up. That would be awesome.
Yeah, yeah. I think it'll happen. Somebody's got to pick it up.
Well, you'd think so. You'd think so.
Yeah.
So let's talk about, let's see, what's the next song we have here. Okay, we just played that one. When you emailed them to me, I didn't have a name on them, and okay, taking a minute to load this one. All right, the name of this one here is called "Let's Go," and
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
all right, and so give us the backstory on "Let's Go."
Okay. So we don't really call it "Let's Go."
Okay,
Um, we all me and all my friends and people who know that song, we call it the food song.
the food song. Okay,
Yeah. It's so this one's kind of hard to explain, like how I came up with it. This one, like the backing track itself, was just like really fortunate. Like I got really this is like one of the ones that came out of the sky, but like this one weirdly, the lyrics took a lot of work to get. And you listen to the lyrics and you're like, these are kind of dumb. There's no way these took like a long time, but I remember like just grinding them out for a long time.
uh huh,
But this song kind of appeared from another song because I make these like really short 30-second songs.
uh huh,
And there was this really short 30-second song that I liked, and I wanted to turn it into like a 3-minute song. So I opened it back up and I started working on it, and I kept changing it. and adjusting it, and it turned into this completely different song, which is "Let's Go," the food song right now. But
Wow.
um, I'm really proud about this one, and this is I'm teaching this song to Adam and those guys
Wow.
right now. But this song is like, you listen to the lyrics, it's kind of obvious, but like it's just about food, literally eating with your friends and how great it is. But the whole, like, the backing track sounds like this party. So it's just like great to eat food with your friends, and that's just the bottom line of it.
Yeah, I figured, when I first listened to it, I said, I could just picture, well, I think he sat down at a Sunday dinner with friends or family, and he was just looking at the food on the plate and started singing about it, man. I mean, I just didn't understand it at first, and then I played it again, and I was like, oh, wait a minute, there's something else going on here, man. And then, you play it a few more times, and you're like, oh, okay, I think I understand it. And now, once again, to hear the backstory on it, it all comes full circle, man. It really does.
Yeah, a big part of it is like the song, I think, captures how great it feels to like cook for other people.
Right.
You know, and
Right.
that's just the bottom line.
Sure. Well, I'll tell you what. It's not called Let's Go, it's called the food song. So let's play it. We'll be right back. We'll be right back here on Pedal to the Metal, Motors and Music right now.
Chicken and mashed potatoes, carrots soaked in butter, Martinelli's and garlic bread, a meal to eat together. Sometimes I get down, sometimes I get real low, but then I see those sizzling fajitas. I was hungry all alone, and let me tell you this, now that you're my friend, don't be afraid to eat too much. You will never eat alone again. I got pizza and burgers and ice cream and cake. I got sandwiches and sausages, asparagus and steak. I got my basket, my blanket, and the sunshine is great. We'll have a picnic at the park for our first date. Sometimes I get down, sometimes I get real low, but then I see those sizzling fajitas. I was hungry all alone, and let me tell you this, now that you're my friend, don't be afraid to eat too much. You will never eat alone again. Sometimes I get down, sometimes I get real low, but then I see those sizzling fajitas. I was hungry all alone. Sometimes I get down, sometimes I get real low, but then I see those sizzling fajitas. I was hungry all alone.
There you go, the food song right there. So, dude, are
Good
you
song.
are you are you playing all the instruments in that song?
Yeah,
Every single one. Wow, you're
yeah.
you're you're a talented young man, sir.
Oh, thanks, man. Appreciate that.
Yeah, that's a pretty good gig to have right there, to be able to really, basically, man, you could be a one man band. You could do it all.
I mean, technically, I am.
There you go.
I'm standing up there singing that song. I wish I could play all those instruments like all at once.
Yeah. Oh, that'd be nice, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, in your career as a musician, what do you hope to? What is one of your big? This would be my golden moment kind of deal. before you answer that, I got to say hi to a good friend of mine on here, Anthony Agostino. Hello, cuz. How are you? Glad to see you on here. Somebody called you that knew you. I don't know who it is though. They wanted you to call him though. But anyway, what is your what is your bucket list? I guess what would that be?
Well, these past couple of shows, so like I go to the open mics in Littleton, the bar called the Alley, and like I got my own like group over there. I go there like every Tuesday and do the open mic, and so when I go there, they like know my songs, so they sing along to them.
Uh huh.
And like recently, I did a show there, and there was like just an insane amount of people there. It was like crowded, and there's a lot of new people there that had never heard my stuff. And when I'm singing my songs, everyone's screaming "Nasty Little Centipede," screaming the food song with me, and like I got this massive group of people like singing my songs with me, and like it's hard to like imagine like doing anything more than that,
Uh huh.
and but that's like what I want more than anything. Like I wear these props and I have all these like gimmicks that I do, and so like eventually if I'm like playing for like stadiums or like actually like professional sized gigs, it'd be amazing to have people sing along and like wear the fairy wings and the bug glasses and do all the silly stuff with me and like actually sing my songs with me.
Wow. Well, then then you kind of know that hey, at least there's a lot of people out there that are excuse me, got the hiccups that like me, right?
Yeah, I want people to do their homework
Right.
before they go to my show.
Right, exactly. Now, do you create all your costumes and stuff?
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah. I mean, there's just like cheap glasses and stuff
Uh
from
huh.
Amazon. I have one where I glued like some like a mustache to some
Uh
glasses,
huh.
and like I draw a six pack on. Yeah, I make them all.
Well, that's
They're all
cool.
pretty silly and cheap.
But you know what, man? What else can a guy? I mean, it's just like what we were talking in the earlier conversation with Kevin on the auctioneering. Where can you? I mean, if you can get up in the morning and say, "Hey, I absolutely love what I do," then it's not
Hmm.
work. It's not work. It's just something that makes you happy. It's just something that you enjoy doing. And if you can let other people hear what you've done and they enjoy it, that's a fulfillment moment right there, right?
And I'm telling you, like people listening who haven't been like performed on stage, it's like crack. It's insane.
Uh huh.
It's an incredible feeling, and I think anybody should experience it at least once in their life because it's as good as it gets, and it's really addicting too.
I have to. I mean, my stage was the arena for monster trucks, and
Yeah, yeah.
I have to tell you guys, he speaks so much truth in that, because the fact is you get out there, and I mean, I don't drive, but I was the orchestrator of the whole show, and to
Hmm.
be able to stand in front of them people and get people cheering and getting them fired up and just making people enjoy. That was my job. I had to make people. I mean, there would be ladies that come into the pit parties and stuff before the show, and they'd be in dresses and high heels, and they'd have
Hmm.
their hair all fixed up. And I'm like, you wear that to a monster truck show, you know? And I even asked one lady one time. I said, why you wear this to a monster truck show? And she says, well, we just come from dinner and the husband surprised the kids with tickets. I didn't know about it. So I was like, well, I understand. And I'm not joking, dude. At the end, we're always up at the end after the show, we're in the line signing autographs and stuff, and this lady come through, and her hair was messed up, and they had good front row seats, and she got some mud splattered on her and stuff, and she was like, I had such a blast, this was such a great time. And I mean, it just turned her into this obsessed lady with monster trucks, man. I couldn't believe it. I was just like, wow, you were prim and proper, and now you're cussing with the best of the sailors in the world right now, man.
And yeah, that's an amazing feeling, man.
It
I love
is.
that.
It is.
Yeah.
And to get in front of a large crowd, I think the largest I did was 43,000 people at Cardinal Stadium.
Wow. Wow.
And to be able to tell 43,000 people to stand up clap your hand, jump around, stomp your feet, whatever. It makes you feel like I am a god, I am God
Yeah.
right here,
Yeah.
and it's just amazing. It's amazing. And then of course I was doing the show with my mentor, one of my favorite announcers, Army Armstrong, a legend in the world, and I got to be able to do a show with him. I watched him as a kid on TV. I mimicked him.
Unbelievable.
I mimicked him, with a hairbrush. And I was Army at that time, putting on these shows for my grandparents and stuff. And it's really cool, man. It really is. So I understand the feeling that you get and what you're trying to portray to everybody in front of an audience, because it's an addiction.
Yeah, it is, and I've been fortunate too. Like I played for shows like there's no energy, and then I got the opportunity to go up and like revive the whole place, and people
Yes,
actually got up and danced, and I got down and danced in the crowd with them. Like you just memories you never let go of, you know?
sure. And you're just like, wow, I was responsible for doing that, you know?
Yeah,
And
and
I
it's
took
just
a dead
you're just making
audience.
people. Yeah,
Yeah. Wow, that's awesome, dude. I love that
yeah,
feeling. I really do. Well, I'll tell you what, we got a few more here. We're gonna play another song here. This next song here is called Very Indecisive.
yeah.
Okay, so give us the backstory on this song.
All right, so long time ago, I wanted to make a song with my friend. She put some guitar stuff together and I couldn't figure it out and I just let it go. Just like kind of the process I go through when I make a song. Like I start with something and sometimes you just got to let it go for like a year
Right.
or whatever. And then I came back and I started coming up with something and there was this backing track and the backing track, like the song, the music behind it took so much work and it was such a grind. But eventually I got it. But the lyrics just showed up. They took me less than an hour to make,
Uh-huh.
which like never happens. And I'm like, I was just as surprised as anybody else. I was like, I don't know what these lyrics mean or where it's coming from, but like sometimes you're in the middle of making a song and you don't really understand, and then you're done with it, and then you take a step back from it, and then you listen to it, and then you can kind of like study it and understand it in like a new way that you couldn't really see it like when you were making it. But I was like really really proud about this song, but it's just like, you know, this is one of those other songs that gets stuck in people's heads. They're like, now my friends come up to me, they're like, my friend said that he's very indecisive, which means I can't decide, which is
Right.
like a recurring lyric in the song. But this is just one of those special songs that just kind of just showed up on my doorstep. But I have to play this one on stage every time now because people just love singing along with this one too.
Do you have people that follow you? I mean, I guess what you call them, groupies. Would you have your own people that like, oh wow, Deadbird's playing tonight, man, and they're at every show that you go to?
No, I have really good friends that like to show up though.
Well, that's good. I mean, they're your groupies, bro.
Yeah, I'll take it. I'll
Yeah,
take it.
exactly. Right now, and the word of mouth, the word of the mouth is a powerful tool, man. And you get your friends talking about you, and then all of a sudden somebody's like, "Well, I got to go hear this guy, man." And then all of a sudden they're like,
Yeah.
"Wow, I went and listened to him, and it was pretty cool, man. I'm going to go listen to
And
him
they're
again."
yeah.
And you ought to come with me. And pretty soon, now all of a sudden you got all these people following you, and that's pretty cool, man. It really is.
Yeah, and my friends are really great because they'll be in the crowd and they'll grab other people and they're like, "Hey, don't leave yet, just wait." And so they help me out, and
Cool.
it's really great to have people like that.
Cool. Well, let's play this song, and then we'll ask a couple more questions, and then we'll let you get on with your night, okay?
All right.
All right. So hold on, guys. This next song here is called Very Indecisive. We'll be right back here on Pedal to the Metal, Motors and Music.
Just because I check my watch doesn't mean I know the time. Just because I search for something doesn't mean it's what I want to find. I'm very indecisive, which means I can't decide. because I plant my feet doesn't mean I'm standing strong. And just because I sign the leaves doesn't mean I'm staying long. I'm very indecisive, which means I can't decide. And if I ever told you that I made up my mind, don't believe me, cause I'll change it in a matter of time. And every single day is a New Year's resolution, but not every problem requires a solution. Yeah, it's snowing here in Denver and I can't leave the house. A perfect sheet of ice, no thank you to that. I'm gonna stay in sick because it's not worth the risk. I'm gonna spend it making music, I refuse to relax. I'm very indecisive, which means I can't decide. I'm very indecisive, just because this song is over, which means I can't decide, doesn't mean that it's the end. I'm very indecisive, just because I'm staying in, which means I can't decide, doesn't mean you're not my friend. I'm very indecisive, just because this song is over, which means I can't decide, doesn't mean that it's the end.
That song has a lot of meaning to me, man. I am very indecisive for sure, man.
Yep.
I
Yep.
guarantee. I think we all are in a certain way, right?
And it's just like when you hear me make a statement, don't take it serious, man, because I'll probably change my mind.
I hear you, man. I hear you. You know, I only show here in these emails that you sent me. And by the way, the other one was in there. I just didn't search for hard enough for it. But I only show 3 songs. Did you send
Oh
me more?
no.
Did you send me more than 3?
Yeah. I sent you 4.
Okay, hold on. Wait a minute. Let me look at this email right here. Maybe we can. Maybe this is another one right here. Let's see here what this. Okay. All right. Yeah, it is. Hold on just a second. Here's the 4th one. Then we'll talk about that here in a minute. But you know, uh, what advice would you give to somebody that is, they sit in their bedroom at night and they write songs and they want to let people hear it, but they don't know if it's good enough. They don't know if they have enough guts to get out there and sing it. What do you tell somebody like that?
Well, like, so a big one is like let go of your pride. So like you're gonna make really bad music. And I made this practice at the beginning, like to make as much bad music as possible, just like on purpose.
Uh huh.
And I've made a lot of really bad music, and sometimes like you just don't release it, but um like it's really difficult, but you got to get through it. You just got to do it. There's no excuses.
Right.
Just like release bad music. And people don't really remember the bad music. People remember the really good stuff.
Sure. Sure. Exactly. You know, and I mean that's pretty strong words of wisdom right there, because the fact is yeah, you got to get out there and number one, but you do have to let go of your pride, man, because you think it's great. Well, not everybody's going to think it's great, and maybe that makes you stronger when you hear people think, I didn't really like that one. So you think, okay, well, I thought it was good, but what can I do to make my next song better? And maybe that gives you more power to make your next song even better. Am I wrong in saying that?
No, and taking criticism is a really big thing too. Like even now, like I've been doing this for a long time, and somebody will criticize my music, and it'll hurt my feelings real bad.
Uh-huh.
But it's really important, and I really cherish that.
Uh-huh.
Like when somebody like tells me how I can improve, and I like really hold on, because people don't offer that very often because they're polite. But when like somebody offers you advice, like genuinely take it.
Sure.
And like when you're trying to like move forward and take on new roles and do new things, like you're not going to get the opportunities that you imagined or the ones that like you want. Like you got to just kind of take every single one of them because they're going to lead you to another one. Like I've had lots of opportunities and moments in the music life that I just kind of sunk my whole life into, and it like led nowhere.
Uh-huh.
and then it just kind of disappeared, and you kind of just have to like roll with those.
Wow. Well, do you find yourself taking advice from non-musician type of people? I mean, somebody that let's just say that they're like me. They have no musical talent whatsoever, but they enjoy music of all different genres, and they can tell you, hey man, I really didn't like the way this song was written. I think it would be better maybe something like this. Would that does that kind of do you take that kind of advice, or do you just kind of tend to blow those kind of people off?
I think the best advice are is the advice that you get from non-musicians,
Uh huh.
because people who are musicians, sometimes they give you advice, but a lot of the time, and even in myself, when I give other musicians advice, I'm just telling you how I would do it differently.
Sure.
But like a non-musician can tell you if they enjoyed it or not,
Uh huh.
not like what they can do to make it better. So like when a non-musician is like just didn't vibe to it and they didn't dance or they didn't like look like they were having a good time with it,
Uh,
then that's advice in itself. But
yeah.
I say take advice from as many different people as possible. Like there's this moment when I went on stage and instead of doing props, I used the cowbell, and a friend of mine was like, the cowbell was loud and I didn't like it. But I'm
Uh,
like, you know what? I appreciate that. I can use that.
right.
And I don't bring the cowbell on stage anymore.
Right. Well, at the end of the day, those are the people that buy your music, correct?
Well,
If you
like
sell it.
those are the people that pay for the music, and like those are the people you're playing music for.
Yeah.
Like most people
Exactly.
don't really care about music. That's why you're the one on stage and they're not.
Right. Yeah. That's true. That is true, man. I really do believe that. Well, this next song that we have here is called "Stop Making That Stupid Ass Face." I just love the title of it, man. I mean, it's just like my wife tells me that all the time. Have you and her been talking or something? Is this song about me and I'm just going to set myself up here, or what's the deal, man?
Yeah, that song's about you.
Because she'll always tell me, quit making that stupid ass face. And I'm like, I don't know if I'm offended, if I should start crying, or if I should just laugh. And most of the time I just laugh and it makes her mad. So that's the
You
way
missed out, man. You could have written a song about it.
no, you did. I couldn't walk
I
on
did it
your.
first.
You did it first, man. I can't go ahead and claim something that's not mine for sure. So tell us the backstory of stop making that stupid ass face.
Okay, a friend of mine said, "Stop making that stupid ass face," and then she kind of just like riffed. You'll hear it in the song, and she like we kind of like made a song and we just danced to it. And then I was like, "That's brilliant! I got to make a song about that."
Uh huh.
But then I had a hard time with it. I turned it on its head. The stupid face that you're making is you being serious
Right.
and not having a good time, right?
Right.
And being stoic.
Right.
Like that's a stupid face.
Uh huh.
And like I'm a lot of the times I'll sing about like making music because it's like what I know.
Uh
So
huh.
like if you see me on stage acting cool and looking serious,
Uh huh.
stop making that stupid ass face.
Right. Okay.
You know?
Get with the fun and have some fun, right?
Exactly. Stop trying to be cool.
Yeah.
You know?
Quit being cool. Be yourself and enjoy what you're doing.
That's 100% what it's about. Yeah.
Right. Well, let's play it, man. Ladies and gentlemen, you're listening to Pedal to the Metal Motors and Music. Our guest tonight is Mr. Deadbird himself, and this is his last song of the evening. It's called Stop Making That Stupid Ass Face. We'll be right back here on Pedal to the Metal Motors and Music.
This one's called Stop Making That Stupid Ass Face. Flip your eyelids and snare. Scrunch your face like you ate something sour. Let me see your most uncomfortable smile. Or roll your eyes back and do this with your eyebrows. I can make the funniest face. I can go to any open mic and wreck that place. I can bring out little toys and make anybody laugh. I can work an empty bar like it's nobody's business. So when I see you in the crowd, acting cool and looking serious,
Stop making that stupid ass face. Stop making that stupid ass face.
express yourself.
Stop making that stupid ass face. Stop making that stupid ass face.
But don't forget, when they give you the lip, give them the hip. But I'm talking to myself when I say this shit. I'm a people pleasing motherfucking son of a bitch. Looking at me, I know it's hard to believe. A dead bird is working through some of his insecurities. I can make the funniest face. I can go to any open mic and wreck that place. I can bring out little toys and make anybody laugh. I can work an empty bar like it's nobody's business. So when you see me on stage, looking like I care what people think, ooh.
Stop making that stupid ass face. Stop making that stupid ass face.
Express yourself.
Stop making that stupid ass face. Stop making that stupid ass
But
face.
don't forget,
Stop making that stupid ass face. Stop making that stupid ass face.
express yourself.
Stop making that stupid ass face. Stop making that stupid ass
But
face.
don't forget, when they got a big mouth, send them down south. When they ask for the manager, spit in their hamburger. When their words are venomous, evacuate the premises. When they're being no fun, literally run. When they give you the lip, give them the hip.
It makes a lot of sense, dude. It makes a lot of sense now. Just stop making that stupid ass face, okay? Or I'm gonna give you a spatula gotch. No, dude, that's an amazing deal. And I guess the last question I got for you tonight before we go, and hey, if you haven't heard some of the music, we got some new songs coming up after you're done. So tune into the show again. Still stay on. If you're watching it now, stay on and listen to some of the music I come up with, okay?
All right.
All right. So, what do you, when you finally decide to hang the drumsticks up, what do you want to be remembered as?
Just an entertainer, I guess.
Uh huh.
I don't want to be remembered like myself. I just want my songs to like live on.
Uh
You
huh.
know what I mean?
Right.
Like I don't need all the glory for them, but like especially the food song, like I'm trying to teach as many people that one as possible.
Uh huh.
But I want the songs to live on, you know, as much as possible. That's
Right.
kind of the goal.
Right. Now, are your songs available on YouTube and stuff like that?
So, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, the URL for each one of those is I hate Deadbird.
I hate Deadbird. Okay.
Yeah, and you can find me on there. I make music videos. You can hear more of my music on Spotify and Apple Music and just about everywhere.
I bet you the songs bring a whole new meaning with the video as a video too.
Well, the Stop Making That Stupid Ass Face doesn't have a video, but the food song does.
Uh huh.
I have the videos I make are like the 30-second long ones,
Okay.
but they're a lot different. Some of them are just like songs that I made, and some of them are videos. There's something for everybody, you know.
Right on. Right on, man. Well, I'll tell you what, man. I really have enjoyed talking to you. I've learned a lot about your music, and I learned a lot about you. I would really like to meet you in person one day, and I want to come to an open mic one night and see you guys, and maybe this summer, you know, I'll be able to enjoy an open mic with you guys somewhere and catch up with everybody because I haven't seen Frenchie since last year at the car show. Same way with Adam. I haven't seen him. I got a chance to hang out with Paul for a while at his house and see the studio and stuff. I've never met you. So and there's one more. Who else am I missing? Let's see.
Rob,
Yeah, I
the bass
haven't
player.
I haven't met him yet.
Well,
So
come to our show, man.
I'd
It'd be
love
great
to.
to see you.
I'd love to come down and love to hang out with you guys and watch you and see what's happening and just check everything out. So I will definitely do that, and I might not be able to make it this Saturday, but I will make it a point to be at one of your shows this year and kick back and watch my buddy Deadbird play.
It'd be awesome, man. I'll buy you a beer, and we play all the time, man. So we'll I know we'll see you.
Cool, dude. I really appreciate, and I still want to get in on a session down there with you guys, and watch you guys have a session there at Paul's house, and that would be. I don't see how you guys do it all in that little room, man. I mean, it's tight in there, dude. It's really tight.
It is. It is. It's pretty tight. You can come and sit and watch us yell at each other. It's a
Yeah,
lot of fun.
yeah, exactly. But I mean, he's got some really cool instrumentation and different, computer programs and stuff. That I mean, he is his own studio. I mean, it's amazing what you guys
Yeah, it
can
is.
really get done down there and turn music into good music.
Yeah, yeah. It's a good time. I love it.
Right, exactly. Well, dude, I appreciate you being on the show. Thank you so much. And, you're welcome back at any time. And I will see you this summer sometime. I'll show up and you won't even know it's there. I'll just come up and say, hey, what's up, man? How you doing? You're not even going to know who I am until you see me, okay?
Hell yeah. Well, thank you, Jeff. I appreciate you having me on the show, man.
Anytime, buddy, anytime. And if you got any other friends, man, I mean, this wasn't hard, was it?
No, man.
It
What
was
is
just
everyone
like
scared of?
it was just like two guys sitting down talking to each other, right? The only thing we didn't do is we didn't make eye to eye contact, and we didn't have that beer in our hand having a beer.
Next time.
Next time for sure, brother, for sure. You have a good night and best of luck to you. Okay?
Yes, sir. You too. Thank you so much.
Yes, sir, my brother. I'll talk to you soon. Tell everybody in the band I said hi.
You got it, man.
All right. Bye.
Bye.
Yeah, guys, that's Mr. Deadbird right there, and now that he talks about his songs and stuff and tells me the backstory of them, now I understand what they are and what they're about. At first you hear them, you don't know at all. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to play a couple of songs. We're going to start all over again. I played a couple of these at the beginning of the show, but there was a lot of people that was on that didn't get to hear them and stuff like that. And this is some of the new music that I've made so far. This one here, if you never had a chance to go to Memphis and to go down on Beale Street, you owe it to yourself to market. If you're any kind of a musician or if you love music, you need to go do at least 2 trips. And one is in Nashville and the other one is in Memphis. And if you go to Memphis, go to Beale Street, and there's so much history. It's just amazing, the people that played there, that got their start there, that learned music there and the different places. So that's what this song is about. It's called Walking with Legends on Beale. We'll be right back here on Pedal to the Metal, Motors and Music.
Neon flickers on the sidewalk, Memphis night alive. Boot steps echo down the pavement where the blues still thrive. From the days of theater to club handy's old stage glow, every corner's got a heartbeat from 100 years ago. I passed by Rum Boogie Cafe, hear a guitar cry, like a king of blues still bending notes that never die. And I swear I hear a piano rolling through the night, like Fats Domino's still playing somewhere out of sight. I'm walking with the legends on Beale tonight, where the past and the present collide in the light. Every doorway's got a story, every shadow's got a name, and the ghosts of the music still fan the flame. Yeah, I'm walking with the legends on Beale. They say a young man once walked here, quiet, watching every move, learn the soul of every rhythm, every Memphis groove. Elvis Presley found his fire in these midnight sounds. Now his echo rides the breeze when the sun goes down. I feel a Lucille crying in the humid air tonight. That sweet sting of 6 steel strings cutting through the night. You can hear B.B. King in every note that lingers on, like he never really left, just kept playing on. I'm walking with the legends on Bill tonight, where the past and the present collide in the light. From the stages to the sidewalks, every scar and stain still carries every chorus, every loss and gain. Yeah, I'm walking with the legends on Bill. Some are names in neon, some are carved in stone, some just live forever in a broken microphone. But they all come back when the night rolls in, and that old street starts to sing again. I'm walking with the legends on Bill tonight. Hear 'em laughing in the distance, just out of sight. Every step I take, I ain't alone at all. I can feel 'em in the rhythm of this southern call. Yeah, I'm walking with the legends on Bill. Just a man and a memory, and a street that never sleeps.
There you go, walking on Beale with the legends out here. Walking with the legends on Beale. I'm sorry. Anyway, guys, that was a good song, and the cool thing about it is the World Championships are going to be down in Memphis this year, and they'll be at the end of the month. And all the world champion auctioneers are going to be down there, and I just know that they're going to go down on Beale Street and hang out, and I think that's going to be too cool to be down there with all those guys. And I know that there'll be guys that get up on stage and auctioneer and stuff like that. I mean, one thing about us auctioneers, when the auction's over with, we're not done. We're not done. If we got a chance to get on a microphone and get up in front of somebody, we're up there and we're doing it. We never turn down the opportunity to get on the mic and let our craft be heard. And that's all there is to it. So when we come into a building, I can remember when we went to Nashville to the contest one year, we walked into some of the buildings down there, and the first thing we do is we tell them, hey, we're with the world champion auto auctioneers, and usually you get a group and you go with the world champion that was claimed that year, and you can say, hey, we got the world champion auctioneer here tonight. Is there any way we can get him up on stage and let you guys listen to him? And I don't think we've ever been turned down, to be honest with you. I really don't. They're always more than willing to get up there and let somebody get up there and show their sing song. So that's what it's all about. Now, this next one right here, Tootsie's Alley. This is made after the Nashville town Music Row down there, and there's a famous bar called Tootsie's. And right behind Tootsie's in the alley was the Rhyme Theater. And when the performers through history at the Rhyme were done playing that night, they went across the alley and into the back door of Tootsie's, and they come into Tootsie's and played and drank and had a good time. Well, before they come in, they walked into this it's like an arch, and it's made of stone, if I remember correctly. It's made of stone, and they signed their names on this wall. And you walk through there, and I mean, they'll let you physically go in there and see it, and or at least they did when I was there. It might have stopped now. I don't have any idea, but the history of the most famous people of singers in the world that sang and came through that arch and signed their names. I mean, it made the hair on my arms stand up. It was just a total amazement. So that's another town that you have to go visit if you like music. You have to go to Nashville, because every bar you go to has some kind of different music. There's people on the street singing. I mean, you hear people on the street corner singing, and you're wondering, why isn't this person uh, have a record deal out? Because they're phenomenal. But it's just the luck of the cards, I think. I don't know. That was one of the things I wanted to ask Ed Bird, and I forgot, and I apologize. But anyway, this place is Tootsie's, and you need to go in there, and you need to go to the back of the bar and check out the entrance where they came from, the Rhyme Theater. So this here is called Tootsie's Alley. We'll be right back here on Pedal to the Metal, Motors and Music.
There's a narrow little alley where the neon fades to dim. Just a back door and a memory most folks walk past and miss. Brick walls worn from boots and time, stories in the grain, every name scratched in that arch still echoes just the same. I ain't played the Opry, ain't never wore that crown, just a stranger in the shadows where the legends came around. But I swear I felt a presence as I stepped up through that frame, like every soul that passed here once was whispering their name. In Tootsie's Alley, under that old archway, where the past ain't gone, it just don't ever fade. Signatures and spirits hanging in the air. I ain't one of them, but I can feel them there. Yeah, in Tootsie's Alley. Some are still out singing, some have long moved on, but they all come back together when that back door light comes on. You can almost hear the laughter, boots on hardwood floors, with midnight dreams, walking through that door. In Tuxie's Alley, under that old archway, where the past ain't gone, it just don't ever fade. Every name a story, every line a prayer. I ain't one of them, but I can feel them there. Yeah, in Tootsie's Alley. Yeah. I ran my hand across those names, carved in the years, felt the weight of every mile, every doubt, every tear. And for a moment in that silence, I didn't feel alone, like the road I'm still walking, they already know. In Tootsie's Alley, where the legends still remain, in the scratches on the wall and the whiskey stains. I might never make that stage, never hear my call, but tonight I stood among them in that narrow hall. Yeah, in Tootsie's Alley, just a back door and a feeling, and 1,000